What, already? What?
Well, I'm going to be playing Pokemon, so...
Yeah.
Wow,
Just
what the fuck?
walking. Sorry.
Ah.
It's closing a window.
Hey, Akuma. Hey, Ari. Yeah, so I'm just going to be playing Pokemon, so I'm just going to be rambling.
Alright.
But...
I cracked open a cold one.
Yeah.
The boys.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I have...
Let me have a look. Just seeing the dashboard's fine. Cool. So sending data. I'm just waiting for it to. Oh, it's all online. Cool. Where are we? Just trying to open that restream chat. There we are. Yeah, boy. Oh, didn't want that. Cool. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Where are the rest of the peepits?
Not sure. I'm just setting up the YouTube channel to link for my class.
Oh, did you want me to restream it through mine?
The class? I'm just gonna be uploading videos. It's just the easiest because AV is consistent of like people from international and
okay.
no one's gonna be able to tune in live. So I'm just gonna be uploading channel like videos and have Q&As and description in the comments and crap.
Yeah, that's what that's what I wanted to do with Steven.
Yeah.
Oh, it's behind here. There's a Pokeball.
Yeah, surprisingly, there's quite a lot of interest in battle tech.
Battle tech?
Yeah. So, like, everyone knows how to dive and what break blocking is, but there's, like, specific case of, like, you know, I need to block here. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And just, like, certain stuff that people don't really know about. Like, you know how Steven has this whole traffic throwing thing, which isn't even viable anymore because traffic throwing is basically dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I'll be running a bunch of classes, and there's been a lot of requests to do TA classes, even though I'm not the best, but you know, I'm better than most, so I can give people a basics of. I mean, I'm like positive about 80% of people that play empty have no idea what throttling and tire spin does. So it's just explaining that stuff.
Just basic concepts, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially with the new generation, like I get asked, you know, even by like Alan's Discord's old team members that he banned for joining my team.
Yeah.
They asked me like, you know, how do I do this? How do I do this? I was like, you know what? I'll just run a class.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I'm like, nah, can't be bothered.
Yeah, it's pretty like, you gotta actually get into it.
Magikarp. Alright, we've got some interest, so let's just start it. You good to start? Andy? Hello?
Sorry, let me just get comfortable. It is like 30 degrees.
That's right.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Cool, who else do we have? We have Kevin.
Kevin.
Alright, let's do this.
I don't think I will be able to join though.
Why?
I'm just like here to I'm actually at work.
Oh, what time are you finishing, or how long do you have to finish?
I'll get off in 2 hours though.
Okay.
That's all right. Yeah. So, do you just want to start?
Yeah, hang on. Let me just start the actual stream.
Sure. Hey, I'm Andy, otherwise known as team leader for Team AVO. Brand new team. Just and not XCSM, but kind of branching off. Brisbane-based player, won the last tournament last year. Yeah. Just before you start, I've had a request from one of the viewers saying that your Pokemon is too loud. Yeah. I should have just. So I think. So obviously, the first point when you say legitimate versus illegitimate is, renames and. Let me ask you, do you think Namco knows that there's a huge market for renames and then there's, thousands and thousands of them around? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Like when I started playing 3DX Plus, when I think I was 12, 14, somewhere around that age, man, I couldn't afford to play. It was what 80 or 100 stories. I could not afford to do that. So I think one of my friends that was a bit older than me at the time, he gave me an R32 arena, which I still have, but I just don't use because I don't really need to. But I think if I had if you're 14 at that time, you don't know how to like buy stuff online. You don't got a credit card, so I didn't even know where to get renames. So I think Namco was pretty smart in the way they actually addressed it without addressing it directly and saying like, hey, we know you guys are cheating and hacking data and stuff. They just cut it off at the root, which is basically, the whole process of duping data in the first place. They just were like, all right, enough's enough. You can enjoy what you've done, but that's it. Just pretty smart on their end, because then people still get to have what they have, and your players don't really have to suffer that much. People are like, oh my god, this guy's got 3 million mileage. He must have spent heaps of money on the game. But if you just ask any player, they would know exactly what it is. Mikey, you're muted to us. Apparently, they can only hear me.
Lớn con ngầu thả đi.
Mikey's muted his whole. You've muted your whole output volume apparently. Pro streamer shots. I'm just gonna keep talking while I try and fix that. So I think the argument versus legitimate versus illegitimate can be very biased.
There we
depending on
go.
the kind of player you are.
There we go. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, I think that the whole argument can be, whether it's moral or immoral to do it.
Yeah.
Or to label a car legitimate or illegitimate is, a personal preference. It's like saying, it's just like, people are eyebrows. Like you can be ugly to one person, but you can be beautiful to the next person, right?
Yeah. So just for those people that have tuned in, we were talking about illegitimate versus legitimate. So I've got Andy here and a couple of other people from AVO. Actually, one person from AVO and a couple of people on DSM in just a group chat. Hello. So we're just addressing what is legitimate. So Andy has obviously heard the spiel, but I'm going to go over it again. So essentially all cars are illegitimate in a sense. If you count working from a discard, that is technically considered illegitimate. So what we were trying to find is, what is the line in which legitimate starts and where it ends. So so if I myself, most of my cars are illegitimate, but does that detract from the fact that I've put time and effort against them?
Exactly.
And what does it mean? Is one illegitimacy more correct than another? So when you obviously
it's like when people buy a 10th grade pro data and then they start playing it. Like the most recent example is the 10th grade Ace RX-8 named Rain that was sold in Malaysia to some kid who basically just fished guests all day and just got slammed by actually decent players. Is that considered illegitimate? Is it immoral? Personally, do I think it's immoral? Yes. Do I think it's fine if he has the money and he has the money to spend it the way he wants? Yeah, sure. It's a kid. I think he must not have been more than like 16, 17. He got he saved up his allowance money. It's just like buying a game. Like, say for example, your Switch, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He saved up money to buy something he really wanted. Whether or not that was the correct decision or not, it doesn't matter.
At the end of the day, it's your money. You can do whatever you want to it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that becomes the same issue as tuning services. Most people don't have the time to sit down for. I believe a 100 story loop now is about 8 hours. I know I've done 5 of them myself in MT6.
Yeah.
And I only had that time because I was, I literally don't have a job. And I just had nothing better to do. But most people don't have 8 hours to sit there and play MT all day long. It just doesn't happen.
I agree.
Yeah, and people want the new story meters because some of them are pretty cool. Specifically, like the blue digital one, that is a very nice meter. But most people won't have the time to sit there to play 7. If you start from scratch, like I'm talking story 0, MT6, brand new car, it would take you 700 stories, often without losing.
All right, hang on. So let me just ask the question now. Let's take just sort of a sidestep and then go. Okay, well, let's talk about meters for flexing, right? Is that something you can flex if you take out how do I say this?
If you take out like the skill needed to complete story without losing.
Well, let's not say skill. Let's say take the time out and pay someone to do it as a service. So you service it, or sorry, you outsource that from another person. Does that mean you're entitled to that meter? Can you flex that meter? Or is that something that people can turn around and say, yeah, but you had someone else do it, therefore you don't deserve it?
I'll put in my 2 cents with this one.
All right, so can you just introduce yourself? Because I have no idea who you are.
Okay, so I'm Edward, I'm EJ. I used to play the game a lot, but I don't play anymore. And basically, what I believe is like, like people like me, I have a full-time job. I work 5-6 days a week, and I don't have the fucking time to play the game. Like. But some people like me, I love the game. I want a meter. So like obviously you want to cut corners, and if you have the money, then you want to pay to skip. Because like time equals money, and you don't want, as Andy said, you don't want to be spending like 7 hours sitting in the arcade because like some people don't have all that time. We have other commitments. You know what I mean? Like obviously with flexing, like if you're like showing like, oh look at me, I got this meter myself, then obviously, like, shut the fuck up. You didn't. You paid someone. But if you're saying, "Hey, look at me. I have a meter. I like this meter," then that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? So what you're saying is it's the intention behind getting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But that doesn't answer the question. If you outsource it, are you entitled to it, and are you entitled to use it?
I think you're entitled to use and flex it, because you might not be flexing the time and you're not flexing the time you spent to do it, and I guess you have to. Some people just can't finish story without cheating. So I'll say there is a skill level involved to being able to do story unshaded. So I think if you outsource it and you try and flex that you're good enough to do it, then you're not entitled to that. Okay. But you're entitled to flex the amount of money you spent outsourcing it, because there is a profit to be made there.
Okay, so let's then take this to rankings, right? So does that mean that you can turn around and say, oh, I ranked up, from B something to A, via outsourcing? Yeah. Is that something that's flex worthy? Is it legitimate? Is that a legitimate means to flex?
Yes, because rankings in general, after you say you hit full dress up and you're full tune, most people, I think they're around mid B ranks. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure it's around early to mid B ranks. So like I think it's like B9 to B7, something like that. So anything past that point you can call it optional, because you don't actually have to do it. You have everything, right? Say even if you get all the meters then included, you would be around, I think now it's like high S1s, like S1, S2 roughly. Anything past that point is completely pointless to a degree, right? You have nothing left to unlock except the ranks. So I think you are entitled to flex the rank, because after the unlockables, there's no skill involved. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, because story mode rank ups aren't carried whether you won or lost. It's just completed. Same with Ghost, right? So after the point, it's just a money flex. You're just showing off how much money you can pour into the game, because anything after the point is pointless, right? You don't have to.
Is that healthy though?
It's the same as like.
Is that healthy?
To the community or yourself?
To the community. Oh, there's a puppy! Ah! Hello, puppy!
I think it's okay for the community, because it shows the community that there's still big active players willing to put the money into play, so that newer players will be like, oh look, this guy spent $10,000 on getting triple S9 on some crap car. You know, if this guy spends $10,000, it's worth me spending $100 just to get my car tuned.
Okay.
So I think it creates value in the community.
Okay, so now we're bordering on sort of what is so it's okay if you have the money to put towards the game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's I like in modern terms, I think it's absolutely fine to say that gaming is a hobby. I know 10 years ago, if I said that to my parents, I'd get smacked up.
Yeah.
Right. But I think nowadays it's absolutely fine just because there's such a huge community and just industry behind it.
Okay.
So it's like any other hobby. I think it's absolutely fine to put money into it.
Okay.
Like say like hobbies like that don't give you tangible rewards. So things like skydiving. Yeah, I guess skydiving is a hobby, but you don't get anything from skydiving. You get a fall.
Okay. So
Like this bucket list thing.
okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much you're saying to me that you feel that if you can outsource it, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Because that's that's the basis of business essentially, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, capitalism. If you want to deny capitalism, you're just going to get left behind.
That's right. That's right. And
Yeah.
I think those that want to deny that, that's fine. But it's the way of the world at this stage, and
Yeah, it is.
So
Same
Profits.
principle.
If
It's
it,
like, the same principle. It's like for example, I'll use car wash lightly. Basically, it's like some people you don't have the time. You don't have you pretty much can't be fucked washing a car. So you get someone else to wash your car and you pay them. It's pretty much like you're paying for a service. It's like
yeah, it's the same thing.
kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
If you have the money and you want to save the time, then go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it this, in terms of MT, it takes, like I said, 8 hours to do 100 stories from chapter 0, right?
yeah.
How much money can I possibly make in 8 hours, right? Minimum wage in Australia after you're 20 years old is like $21, $22 an hour, some crap like that.
Something like that.
8 hours is roughly $170, $180. Can I just outsource it plus the cost of the games to someone else for less than $180?
Yeah.
If it's yes, then why would you not do it?
True.
Right?
True. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So, I personally think, yes. Like, if I wanted to hit pen to S, right? Then I think that if I spent the money, yeah, cool, no worries. Like I've contributed something. Someone's done it for me that I trust, and that is reputable. And at the end of the day, whatever I get out of it is a bonus. But at the end of the day, the rank's what I want, and the rank's what I get.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So that solves one area. Let's then go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. What constitutes as a illegitimate car?
I think there has to be some kind of there's different thresholds of illegitimacy, right? So I think top of my head, like the absolute most illegitimate thing you can have is buying a rename and saying that the stats are real and you did them yourself. I think that is the most illegitimate example you could use.
No, that'd be the most immoral example, not illegitimate.
I don't know.
That because
I think saying it's real and then forcing people to believe you saying it's real.
but it is
Yes.
but it is real. It's just you haven't done it yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a moral.
Ah.
It's a moral to do that, but it's not illegitimate because it's still something that there's a very fine line in that because of the fact that we're now saying that renames are okay except for blah 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 blah.
Right.
So would you then can I add this rule?
Yeah.
Renames are okay below A rank.
Because rename ranks were controlled upon creation. So if Namco had an official rename service, if I pay $300, boost me to these stats, right? Like just straight up, talking huge microtransaction kind of deal, right? I think if it was like that, then yes, you could call it. You could use that role, but I don't think it's reasonable to say to control it at certain ranks because I believe it's like 90%, 95% of renames are all triple S at least because that was the most common rank. Because that was the max rank at 3DX Plus. People would just put it to the max because why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So low rank renames are very uncommon, and because of that, they go for a very high price. Despite having basically no stats, just because they're low rank, people can use them, right? This is a legitimate thing. People will use low rank renames as a base car to start their main car.
Why?
Because they have white meter.
White meter?
That's the white meter, like the Namco meter.
Oh.
Namco racing meter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like okay.
Yeah. So people will use. I know B rank. It's like B7 rank Evo 8s have white meter on them with 0 stars. I know there's a few of them floating around, and there's a couple of other models that do the same thing. And people would just use it to say, "Oh yeah, I started MT2. I'm a veteran. I know what I'm doing. You should listen to me and respect me." When it's just a rename. Yes,
that's the behavior of people.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so and so. I think it's purely up to like everyone's discretion.
I got
Like,
another role update. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
so that brings me to my next point. So, people that know me, like I have a legitimate R34, Evo 9, Evo 8, etc., etc., etc. But I have renames, which I also have renames of like 34, 32, and Evo 9, like cars I already have. But the reason why I bought that at that time was because like obviously like renames come in like one card with like many cars, right? So of course, like I handpick like a couple, and that's what I want, and then I'm like, oh, like I might as like if I'm spending this much money, I might as well buy that. So it's pretty much like I wouldn't use microtransaction as an example, but for example, like there's a game I play. It's like you can pay to skip it, kind of thing. It's like use money to replace the amount of time and the effort you spend into it, and that's why like Mikey and yourself, you guys have renames because like you just don't have the time to spend all that to do that. It's like it's like me, like I work long hours, and like most of my story, like I'll be honest, like I get people to do my story because like I can't sit and do 20 stories and then like I don't have that time anymore.
yeah, even to now, 20 stories is about an hour, just over an hour.
Is
Last
it?
I checked.
Yeah, it's a pain in the
Yeah,
ass.
it's crazy.
Closer
Yeah.
to 2 hours. Closer to 2 hours.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half hour, 45 minutes, depending on. It actually depends on the network. If you have really good internet, the game will load faster. It's just absolutely, it's so stupid.
Really? Ugh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I think that answers that question. It's like, it's okay to have renames, and there are different levels of illegitimacy. It just depends on the kind of, what's the word? Like what you're trying to push your car as. So, say KPGC 10, pretty uncommon car, but white meter ones are rare because white meter came out in MT2/MT3, and the KPGC 10 came out in 3DX Plus, meaning that it's physically impossible to have a white meter KPGC 10 legitimate.
Yeah. Okay. So
every white meter one is an illegitimate car.
So you're saying that. If it's physically impossible, it automatically rules itself as illegitimate.
To a degree, yes. So
Okay.
white meter R35s, white meters
Evo
E34s, Evo 9s, KPGC 10, GRBs. I don't think there's many white meter GRBs.
Nah.
It's a very uncommon rename. Very uncommon rename.
I saw
think
one
that's
near
very
my
justified,
Courtney.
assumption.
Yeah, I know they exist, but they're very uncommon. So it's basically moot to say at the point because no one's gonna main that anyway. It's like the worst car in the game.
Which, the GRB?
Yeah, that car's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's so bad.
I'm so sad I bought one.
It's so bad.
In NRL, they're pretty cool. Like they're a dadmobile.
Yeah, I think it's a cool car, but
Yeah.
man, they
Yeah.
just suck. There's just nothing attractive about that car at all.
Yeah. Okay.
The
So
in-game model sucks.
okay. So now let's talk about the grey area in which a car is not illegitimate, but is unflex worthy. What is that
Right.
line?
I think if you... Oh, okay, I know exactly.
Go.
Okay, I have a perfect example. Alright, so it's a car that you have outsourced to have your story meters run and your ghost battles run. Say your full dress up, which in MT6 is actually kind of a big deal now because it's like 230 games roughly to full dress up. Winning every single game, of course. And say you're at least past carbon meter, and you're about 2-3 meters of the MT6 ones deep. I think, but the catch is because you're running single player services, you have no verse grade. So you're like a double S R32 with a bunch of meters, full dress up, but you're like first or second grade, and you just suck at the game, but you just have a lot of money. I think that's a terrible flex,
Oh,
and people will probably laugh at you.
Remember that how Aaron put up a post because he wanted to buy an S2000?
Yeah.
And that retard was just posting his car, but he didn't want to sell. He's just being
Yeah. He was trying to flex his red S2K because S2K is a event car.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
Okay, hang on.
and he had
Alright,
it set
Sorry,
it.
sorry. I'm gonna put it in there. Let's take the S2000 as a perfect example of a rename illegitimate versus illegitimate. Let's say that I get an S2000 and I outsource it and I do everything to it and I bring it back in. What does that mean? It's illegitimate or legitimate?
No, it's legitimate.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
It is legitimate because it
Yeah,
is
I'd say so.
commissioned.
Okay, so then the fact that someone flexes and says like I did it all, does that then make it an illegitimate claim?
No, because you spent some money to do it.
No. So there's a difference between a legitimate car and an illegitimate claim to the car. So the difference here is me saying I did it all, I deserve the accolades, and this is all me.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I would say that's an illegitimate claim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Oh, am I done shopping? Yes, I am. I don't want to look pretty. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have subcategories, we have illegitimate cars and illegitimate claims, right?
Yeah.
So an illegitimate car would be then a car that like I'm getting too fired up. An illegitimate car is a car that's physically impossible to obtain, or just stupidly statted up when you get it. So like, let's say SPW for argument's sake. We all know that that's not a legitimate car, and we can all spot it a mile away.
Absolutely.
Rainstar, all illegitimate because we know it from afar away. Anything with a meter that's impossible to get, illegitimate car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are automatically illegitimate cars.
Yeah.
Is there anything that also fits that criteria?
There's the Chun rename, which is an Evo 3 rename. There's
Yeah.
basically
So
any
stat
Evo
it
3.
up. Yeah, so stat it up.
Yes, stat it up. I think
And
I
my
think
game's
that's
rename is like 100k stars.
Yeah, so that's
Very
yeah.
obvious.
yeah. So there's impossible stat cars.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think so. I think that basically fits the bill of an illegitimate car. Is exactly what you explained. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah, the S2K.
Yeah, the S2K.
Yeah, so basically some guy in the Philippines, he had his S2K commissioned.
Yep.
I think it was carbon. I don't remember if it was carbon meter, but I know it was at least S rank, right? And it was like
S rank. It was like
it was like first grade.
stars.
Yeah, it was like first grade pro, first grade, and he was basically trying to flex his car, right, on people's sale posts who are looking for an S2K with no intention to sell it. He was like, guys, just look at my S2K. It's cool as. And everyone was like, are you trying to sell it? No, I just want you to look at it. Wait, what kind of flex is this? Fuck off my post.
Lol.
You should have just replied to him, and he just pictures of your dog. It's just like, this dog isn't for sale. I just want you to look at it.
Yay, look at my dog. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was playing CS:GO with Aaron, and we just finished Edward. We'll play later after he comes back from dinner.
Nah.
Yeah. So, Mikey, what's your next question?
So the next question is now let's look at to the Penta S sort of debacle that we're facing now, right? We've got a bunch of people that have getting Penta S's, right? Are they legitimate because they are outsourced, or are they illegitimate because they're outsourced, and why?
I think if you claimed I ran every single story, every single ghost battle, every battle by myself without intentionally fishing a guest ever, and you can somewhat prove it, right? I think it's then legitimate. I think if you can't prove that you never fished a single guest, because I think fishing a guest for stars is an illegitimate process as to attaining.
Okay, that's a good one, an illegitimate process. So now we've got illegitimate cars, illegitimate claims, and illegitimate processes.
Yeah. So, I think if you intentionally, like all the time, on a consistent basis, fish guests, you can call your first grade illegitimate.
Okay.
But sometimes you really don't have a choice whether a guest joins you or not. Just because of how MT's battle system works.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. That's like a one-off, but I think consistent guest fishing, being caught out all the time.
Intentionally going for it.
And I think the big point is consistent, because you can intentionally fish guests every now and again. I think that's. I mean, sometimes if you just want 1 or 2 stars, you just can't. When you're playing, there's just no one there, and all there is guest. You have no other choice, right? And you want stars, and you only want a couple because you're 5 points off your next verse grade. I think it's fine. Every now and again, whatever. Shit happens. But I think consistently fishing guests, and having, Mikey, have you seen some of those medal ratios on some of the Facebook pages?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There's that 190E that's like 6th grade. It's from Indonesia. It's got like 500 gold, 300 silver, 200 bronze, and 50 blacks.
Oof.
50. That is insane.
That's he must be pretty good. Must be pretty good.
Yeah, he must be pretty good. He must have only played. Yeah, he must have only played when the 190E bug goes around, right?
Yeah, must be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's an illegitimate process, is guest fishing.
So would you say that there should be about a 5% error rate, that if you can sort of prove to yourself that, or prove to everyone that approximately less than 5% is done in an illegitimate process, then qualifies?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think 5 to 7%, I think, is reasonable.
Yeah. 5% is being generous, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just live really far away and you go to a dead arcade. Like, if you go to my arcade, like some of the guys from Brisbane can vouch for me, there's literally no one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are like refuse verse.
No, there's no one with a car over 600 horsepower. There's no banners in the terminal, so people can't even tune a car. And the demographic here is so low that people flock to Macca's for the Macca's 30 event right now.
Yay.
At 9 in the morning, there's people buying $2 Big Macs.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the life I live in Logan. That's just how it is. And I just can't. I can go out, but sometimes I just don't have the time. I don't have time to drive 20 minutes out to go to an active arcade to play for an hour and then drive home. It's just not reasonable for me. Mikey, what's your next question?
So we've gone over illegitimate processes. What other illegitimate processes are there? Because there's guest fishing, which is a complete no-no, I feel. But there's also boosting, which is you play other people specifically knowing that you can beat them.
Yeah, you're gonna win. Yeah, and they're gonna keep winning, and they're gonna keep versing you.
That's right.
You bait them. Yeah. So
not only do you bait them, but you're quote unquote mentoring or quote unquote training.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So I think everyone knows rank 1 Shibuya forehead. he basically has befriended. He basically befriended these two. He befriended these two guys, right? That were relatively new at the time when he started talking to them.
Yeah.
On the sole and pure basis to befriend them, so they would be okay with losing to him.
Oh,
And this, yes, and they basically, he eventually ended up getting 10th grade, pretty quickly because of it, and he would keep doing this to every single person that was just willing to talk to him. He had no intentions of actually befriending them, you know, no intentions of teaching them anything. He just wanted to, just fish them.
Shibuya hate women.
Here's
Yeah, so-
the thing though, like there's a difference between that, like mentoring and stuff. Like obviously, like when I was still active, I would teach people, but at the same time, like I would actually, it's like kind of like if you only verse them, like only verse people around your skill level and lower, knowing that you are going to win 100%, just to make yourself look good, and versing everyone and anyone, there's a difference,
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah.
obviously, if you if you only verse people that are worse than you, just to pad up your stats, I think, and have people look at you like, oh, this guy has 10th grade pro, he must be good, as opposed to someone like myself, David, or Eagle, or like even Anson, like people that like actually grind and actually like obviously we lose from time to time, but like we work hard and we play anyone and everyone. It's like we don't select our opponents are.
Exactly. So like this, like this situation, like this scenario specifically, he would also befriend the worse players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we seem to have Andy on mute right now.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Hello.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah. So
Hi,
this.
Andy.
Hi. So this scenario, this player would tell the other players that he befriended, that he doesn't actually like, to team up against us, and basically try and turn the tides so that he could still win in a 3v1 scenario. Like, if I entered the game versus him and the other two guys he's befriended, they would just agree to 3v1 me. But for some reason, right, I don't know, it could just be me, the rank 1 forehead would always win the 3v1, and he wouldn't let the other two guys win. And would you look at that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is very illegitimate and very immoral process to befriend worse players / mentor them, pretend to mentor them to win and pad your stats.
Okay. So
Who are you talking about?
Rank 1 forehead.
Shibuya
Ah.
Yeah. Rank 1
Yeah.
forehead in the Olympics.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The autistic brothers.
Yeah.
Ah.
Next.
I earn 4K a week.
Yeah, no, different guy.
Different guy.
Yeah, different.
Oh, okay.
Mikey, next question.
no, I mean, like, do you have anything that you want to like talk about or say?
Or about illegitimate processes?
Well, about what else would you consider illegitimate? Because I mean, we covered illegitimate cars, illegitimate processes, and illegitimate claims. What?
Why do you play this game?
What? Fuck me. Jesus.
Actually, I've noticed something from all this discussion so far. Just from my own analysis, it seems that most of the times that what is considered legitimate is what is immoral.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a huge spectrum, because something that's immoral to some players would not be immoral to others. For example, if you go to Sydney, you will get 3v1'd. To them, it is moral because they are from where they're from. That's normal and expected. But if you went to Brisbane,
Their 3v1 is technically can outrun them anyway.
but to newer players, it sucks.
Oh yeah, of course. For new
That's why
players,
it's
it's,
nice.
it's discouraging.
and, like,
But being said
it's
though,
very
that's just the
discouraging.
process. It's like a learning curve,
Yeah, it is.
Every location has their own sort of play style, and you just have to get used to it. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
In Sydney, that's
sucks.
how they are. Then you just have to sort of overcome that and just get better. That's just how it is.
Yeah. And that's basically their mentality is, oh, if we bully this guy every game, he's going to get faster quicker. But the question stands is, did that player actually want to learn from these players? You know, what if he just wanted to battle and not care and just have some fun?
Depends on nationality, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue.
Yeah.
You can't go gung-ho into every scenario with the same mindset as, oh, we should test if this player is good or not. What if the player doesn't care, he just wants to have some fun? Like, when I went to Sydney, you know Femi?
Yeah.
Jimmy? So Femi was there to, because he was there do like a lion dance event or some crap. And basically he sat down, swiped his rename, and no one wanted to verse him. Because that's mentality in Sydney is, if I can't win, I'm not going to play. Because
but that's okay, but again, that's the same mentality as some of the sort of less good players in Brisbane. Like they will try to avoid versing people that is good.
It's like that, and
Yeah,
it's like a big trend.
Yeah,
But
it is way
that's
bigger.
why, that's also why the standard in Sydney is a lot lower now. Because back in the day, where the older generation MT players in Sydney, they don't care. They will verse. They would try to get better at it. But now, new generation players, they're not like that. They
care about stats.
If I can't win, then I'm not going to play. That's the same with not just MT. It's pretty much any game. They have that mentality of they want to win. But the thing is, if they know they can't win, they will avoid to actually play it, so they don't embarrass themselves by losing.
Okay, Boomer. Okay.
So, sorry, I'm fucking old, but still.
Yeah, I agree. I think gaming, like I said to Mikey earlier, like gaming has become a full-time hobby for some people. And I think it's okay to say, gaming's my hobby. And in that same sense, it's the same as sports becoming a hobby. And you could search anywhere on the internet and find stories of competitive dads forcing their kids to do sports. It's the same mentality as, if my son's not winning, it must not be his fault, it's someone else's fault. Which is the same thing as, I didn't lose, my car just wasn't good enough, which pushes the meta into, no, I'm sorry, in DX Classic anyway, it pushed the meta into the Evo 9 meta, which is now the R32 meta.
Oh, well, that's the thing. They try to play to win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's okay to play to win, but at the same time, like you need, if you're constantly losing, you got to think to yourself, hey, why am I losing? And you got to look back. Oh, it's because they're outplaying me, rather than, oh, these people are too good for me. I'm not gonna play with them. I'm just gonna play with shit people.
No, that's the thing. Like, okay, sometimes yes, cars does matter a bit.
I mean, according to you, it matters a lot when I play.
That's the thing. Like, the cars does matter in some perspective, especially if the player skill is even. Then the cars does.
Yeah, it's a bigger factor.
Yeah, but on a lower tier
versus higher tier
scale, then it's definitely basically about skill. It's like, okay, so if I go Sydney and if I fucking use high X, right? I'm pretty sure I can probably win like 70-80% of games without any issues.
Yeah, the 20% of games is either you stopped caring or you get game.
Which is pretty much by the second game I stopped caring.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of an issue because I know a lot of the time where even if I play in Brisbane, sometimes if I win 3-4 games in a row, people start getting salty. And then
no, people doesn't get salty. No, it just becomes we just make sure that you come last.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. But that's the same goes with anyone. If anyone continues winning, then we'll try to make sure that person doesn't win. It's just, that's the fun about it.
Yeah.
And we all, and the thing, we don't care if we lose.
Yeah. If I start getting 3v1 in Brisbane, I know it's because I did something. That's the issue. Is in Sydney, you get 3v1 for no reason.
Oh, no, they're testing
3v1 if you're not...
Yeah, exactly, yeah, they're testing me.
They're testing
you.
But they check out your skill, it's honky stuff, bro.
But my skill is linked to my rank, as we mentioned beforehand.
Illegitimate.
Yeah. Mikey, you got anything to add?
No, not really. I mean,
Why do we play this game?
You guys have covered most of the bases in which
got another one.
Yeah, go for
So,
it.
you know, so basically, the first time I went up to Brisbane, you know, like I went up, man, because I want to meet up with friends. You know, like MT to me was more of a social thing, rather than the mentality of I'm good, I'm gonna win kind of thing. And that's kind of like, you know, it kind of ties down to this discussion where you know, some communities they're not as welcoming, or the mentality of some people they're not, it's not exactly the same, and that's where there's like conflict and stuff. So for example, like I stopped playing like regularly for a long time, but when I come back, the reason why I play is because of friends and more of the social aspect. It's just like Jimmy and Andy, like, you know, like whenever they play up, like they play every single Friday night. You know, get together, have a bit of a laugh. You know, nothing like they don't take the game seriously. They do it because they want to see each other. It's more of like, it's kind of like how do you say it?
Oh
It's like,
hell no! I don't want to see MD every week.
Social group.
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, so
No,
we go
like-
to have
like-
dinner, basically.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, okay, Friday tradition has been going for quite a while. Like, it used to be Wednesday, or no, actually, it used to be Tuesday night before, like way before. But that was because I was playing WoW. So Tuesday's the server down night. So that's when I usually go out. But then we changed to Friday because I stopped playing WoW. And, you know, we try to make sure that people comes out at least once a week. You know, if you don't play every day, just come out on Friday night, just play a few games, have dinner, have drinks, you know, have a laugh. You know, just, it's not all about gaming. It is the social aspect, like meeting up new players, you know, and be friends. That's the thing. That's what matters, really.
Yeah, I think some of the best.
alive.
Yeah, I think some of the best moments most players will have is with friends. In this MT scenario, anyway. I think if you went in as a solo player, you know, like noise cancelling earphones in, the second you walk into the arcade, you don't talk to anyone, you don't even look at them. You just sat down, TA/battle. Don't even, if you win 20, like every single game, don't even look at your opponents at all. You don't, no expression. I think you just like, that's very sad.
Is this a shade at Steven Snook?
Stevens.
Snook.
The difference between being a good person and a good player as well. Like, okay, let's not drop any names, but a certain player who is
DJ
undeniably-
Star.
shut the fuck up. Very good at the game. They live, and he's the best in the state.
Star.
However, oh my fucking god. And it's like, and you know, like he's undeniably good. He's very talented, but in the social aspect as well, Andy and Jimmy are saying, like, you know, like you don't talk to anyone. You know, you just have that mentality that I am, like, he looks down on people. He's higher than everyone, kind of thing. And you're like, you know, to a new player, you're like, oh, he's good, but you know, like he's not acknowledging me. You know, whereas in Brisbane, like like everyone's like really welcoming, and they try and like make new friends or like, invite them out, where you kind of like meet new people and get, you know, involved in the community. You know, people come and go, but you know the core people are still going to be there. You know, to keep the community going and, you know, like keep the scene alive, which is very, very important.
Yeah, I think inviting people into your friendship group when you play MT specifically is a very important thing. If you take it from a game point stance, if someone new comes to the arcade and you've never seen them before and you do play a couple battles with them, most people can see the potential in a player just straight away. And I think inviting them to your group, playing with them constantly, you know, going to dinner, making sure they actually have a nice time, and seeing them grow as a player and get better is a very interesting like process. You know, it's watching someone go from, you know, 252 C1 out to being able to do low 250s. I'm talking like DX Plus anyway.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing to watch.
Watch someone progress.
Because this game is not easy. I would not say MT isn't easy.
It's
That's not.
easy.
You're a boomer,
It's
okay? You're a
easy.
boomer.
Okay, boomer.
A boomer who was attracted to MT the first time it dropped.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah, no, there's been a couple boomers in Brisbane. I don't think he plays anymore. I'm talking about Endo. He was like some weird Porsche main. Just came in, played like 3 games, watched us play, and then just leave.
Aw.
Pretty cool guy, I guess.
For example, would be Tights from Sydney. You know, like
Yeah,
I
he's
respect
good.
him because, like, bro, I go on the track in real life with him, and he uses like real life like racing techniques to, you know.
Yeah,
to
his
improve
TA
game.
is weird. I watched him do TA, and I asked him about his thought processes behind doing certain turns. Basically, his like the way he processes if a section is fast or not is insane. I don't think anyone else could do it. Basically, instead of looking at his actual section timings and like feeling how his turns went and looking at speeds, he just looks at the clock. He's like, at this turn, the clock should be this time. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
Oh,
Because-
I actually did something similar
Yeah.
to that, but it might be something off tangent. But then, like, one of my favorite courses is Ikebukuro, and if I do TA there, I always pick the longest song on the music.
Yeah.
So I would know the timing of when the song will end. That's the part
Oh.
where I should be able to catch.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I never yeah. So when Tykes explained to me that's how he processes if a section is fast or not, I was like, wait, I've never thought of this.
No, but like, okay, but if you play long enough, right, by just sort of simply playing, you know whether you're going fast or not.
Yeah.
You can predict roughly what kind of
Yeah,
CPU
but
you
like,
get.
specifically, even when he takes a corner, right?
Yeah, Conor Growlith, woo!
Nice. If he's off pace, right? He's looking at the clock to actually control his turn timing. So, say let's say solo standard, he has to turn right at 1 minute 23 seconds, 500 milliseconds, right? He's actually looking at the clock and saying, okay, I need to turn at this time. And he looks at the clock and then turns. He doesn't look at the turn. He looks at the clock.
Yeah, I guess
That's
sort of
hard to
makes
memorize.
sense.
It makes sense, but it's very hard.
It
to
makes sense.
Very hard.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
I
I
don't
guess
think
he
any-
has different thought process, and that's just how it works for him.
So does that mean if he stuffs something up, that means the
Yeah.
rest of his run is ruined?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Good.
Yeah. That's how we learn
If it's
NBLCW.
Matt W, then he's fucked.
Ah.
So, anyways, Mikey.
Oh my god, I'm
our
in my
thoughts
camp.
have been gone from the original question.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I'll come back. Yeah.
I got a suggestion from someone from the comments.
Yep.
There was a question regarding about the legitimacy of having the OCM plate and also buying data that contains an OCM plate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gold
if
plates,
it was
right?
if it was the gold OCM plate, like should it buy the same attributes to if it was illegitimate, or is it flexing okay?
That's an illegitimate claim.
Legitimate.
So the whole idea of a gold plate is to showcase that you actually have skill. It's the same reason why if I held the C1 inwards time attack, I can't make a claim because I actually can't do it, right? So
Yeah, it's a hard
that's a skill based thing. It's not a time based and it's not a money based thing. It's a skill based, right? So when you look towards that sort of plate that is hard to get, that is an illegitimate claim and you can't flex it because there are a lot of people that have a gold plate that don't deserve it, that don't deserve it, but then go, oh, I have a gold plate, I'm flexing. It's like, yeah, but did you actually do the run? How were you in Malaysia at the time, or Australia, or all the rest of it? So no.
Oh, gold plate is just a
Illegitimate.
money grab. It's nothing cool.
Hey. The first OCM was hard as crap, all right? Like, that took me, Stitch...
First OCM's easy. First OCM was
The
so
first
easy.
OCM was easy because at that time people were still figuring out what to do.
Hey,
before
I got
the
my gold... I got my gold plate. I don't have to care. So, illegitimate.
Yeah,
Illegitimate.
yeah. I got my gold plate from the first OCM as well, and after that I just couldn't give a crap anymore.
Was the first OCM even cushioned or was it just a TA rule?
Cushion.
No, it was cushion. It was
Cushion.
cushion. It was cushion, but it was really, really weird cushion because
Yeah.
it was
Everyone's
just
driving.
continuous. No, it wasn't
just
just
bad.
that. It was continuous change of horsepower. So
Oh, yeah, no, that's normal.
It
They
was
do that.
800
Yeah,
and
they do that in OCM now.
Yeah.
but it keeps on getting resetted. The
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
is,
that's how it works.
no, well, it usually gets harder and harder and gets to a point where it's sort of unbeatable. You just have to try and see if you can get into top 100 at the end. But that's what
No,
it
that's
should
how
be.
that's how it's been working in current OCMs. It goes up to like 800, 840.
I don't know
and
nowadays,
then-
but like
yeah.
the way it was just kept on getting resetted, so it would be
Yeah, yeah.
fast and then gets resetted by like really
it's
high
slow.
horsepower,
Yeah.
horsepower, and then just becomes too slow on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, that's how they've been doing
That's why
OCMs now.
Ava got fucking pissed off at me.
With the last Shibuya OCM in Japan, it went up to 840, and then they
Yeah,
just
and
set it
went back down.
No, they set it back down to 660 even to go fast.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's how it's been in
basically,
every OCM.
OCM is kind of pointless. You just have to spam
and
it
it's-
on
it-
the last day, like
Yeah,
last
in the,
reset.
in the you have to play in the last
Last
minute. Yeah, the last
No, last
minute or
two
two of
sessions.
OCM.
Because
No, no,
isn't
no.
it like the very first OCMs, like the last ghost was the entire day?
Yeah, so the way it works, there's like a six, no, I believe it's like six or 12 hour period, right? On the last day.
Well, this is how it works now, though.
Yeah, this is how it works now. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure this is the same since every
No,
OCM.
I think the original OCMs that we got, I think it was the entire day.
No, yeah, even then, if
Oh, no,
if the
no.
ghost was the whole day.
No, so the original OCM was 6-hour period.
6 hours.
Yeah.
So if the ghost is 6 hour period, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. In the last 6 hours, right, of the last day, the last 6 hours, that is the final base OCM ghost, right? That is the lead car. You have to.
Did they change the amount of time over some period?
No, it's always been the same.
Or has it always been 6?
Yeah, always been 6. Because they reset every 6 hours. It's easy for them to calculate. So basically, it was you had to play within the last. If you wanted to guarantee yourself a gold plate, you had to play within the last 5 minutes, last 3 minutes of the OCM, right, and get in the top 100. That would be 100% gold plate.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
basically it was all just timing. You just had to time yourself so that at the end of the OCM, right, the minute cut off where you can't play another game, you were in the top 100. That's all that mattered. It doesn't matter, and nothing else matters. Like, so you could be rank 1 right at the start of the final 6 hour period, and then by the final minute you get knocked down to 101. You didn't get a gold plate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
important
fucked.
information. You need to qualify first by beating
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
official card.
Which is not hard. Everyone gets like a 600, 700 lead on that car.
Didn't Nuku his secondary car got rank 101?
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. I saw someone did that we know.
that was sad.
Bad.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Um,
So we
He's
just
got one car.
we just had someone ask a question. If we outsource a time, and so if we outsource a time, can we claim it as legitimate? No, we can't, because it's outsourced. The whole point of time attack is for you to run it.
Yeah, it is an illegitimate process.
It's an illegitimate process and an illegitimate claim.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
illegitimate. So now
I
yeah.
have a good example. I would usually have I have like a big library of cars that Steven would borrow just to test it out on Hakone.
Yep.
And I don't claim those records for inbound as mine. I only know the ones that I did myself.
Yep.
So every time, so if there was like a record that was raised and it was my car, I have the means to say if this is my run or not. I would always say which one is Steven's and which one is mine.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like if people like, so I have the same thing. Steven's done a bunch of runs in my car, and I've just turned around and said, yeah, it's Steven's run. I'm terrible at Hakone. Like I know that I can run. Previously in the old version, I ran, what 28? No, I was 28.
Okay.
But like I'll say I'm a 28. I've never gotten a 27, and like I'll openly say I've never gotten a 27. But at the end of the day, Like, if I do get a time that's mine, I'll take a photo of it and I'll be like, hey, this is what I got. Yeah, so if someone has 5,000 ghost plates legit, does that mean that person's experience in Ghost Battle will guarantee him a gold plate? No. God, no.
No, because you can lose a ghost battle and still get 2 plates.
Yeah.
But the game still considers that you lost.
Yeah.
Because you didn't come first. But you're still getting progress, so you could lose 2,500 games and get 5,000.
Yeah. If you're a legit Pen S, does that mean I also can get gold plate? Please just fuck off. Goddamn Sydney WMMT. No, you cannot. What's that? 10-8 is... No, sorry. Is Evander 10-8 Yesu out illegitimate then? I don't know. Someone answer.
Yes, it's illegitimate. Yes.
So who's Evander?
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so Evander Latigen, or however you say his last name, is... Yeah, it's some brown name. He so he has a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
And he calls himself a top time attack player in Indonesia, right? Let's start with that. He only plays Wangan Eastbound TA. Only plays that.
Hey, that's
What?
me.
Really?
Only plays Wangan Eastbound TA. I will say if his run on Wangan Eastbound is him playing, he is genuinely okay at the map. Right.
Okay, being...
Yeah, just okay. So he's like top 20.
Okay, cool.
Like because no one plays Eastbound.
Okay.
Because everyone plays Westbound. So the issue is he will ask very, very, very good players, I'm talking rank 1 players, to play on his car, and then he will claim that it is his time. And then it is very blatant that it's not his time, and then he will be exposed for it, and we're just like, dude, we know you can't do this. But he claims it's his anyway, and then after he's exposed, he will put in the description of the post that he makes saying, oh, you know, I got this time. Oh, but it wasn't me, it was this guy. There's been other issues with him basically just sucking people off, saying like, oh, look, my leader got this time. It's like, bro, are you trying to, what are you trying to flex?
Okay.
Yeah, just a dumb kid, I guess, which, you know, look, at least MT is getting a new gen player base, so that's all we can be grateful for.
I guess it's just like the most inappropriate way to fix a current issue with how Ivan credits his records. Because it's like he still says that this is his record, that it was done by someone. Now, I think what he's supposed to say is that it was his car, that it was done by another driver.
Yeah. Just real scummy, kind of misleading. Like, what are you doing, kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just he's not illegitimate. He's irrelevant.
He's irrelevant.
Yeah. Do you mind if I really quickly plug my channel?
Go for it.
Okay, so if you join my Discord, which I will link in the chat, I will be hosting a masterclass. The first class will be about BattleTech, basically. You know, everyone knows what break blocking is. Everyone knows what soft blocking.
Break blocking is cheating.
Diving. You know, the basics of battle. Everyone knows. You know, if you get in someone's way, they can't get past you, right? But this masterclass is mainly talking about tech that you might not see often, and certain tactics to, you know, most people don't know what to do when there's 3 people behind you, you're in the lead, and a red corner's coming. Most people don't know what to do, so most players will either break really hard and hope the people that behind them will dive them, miss the dive, and hit the wall, and then they can get past. That's most likely the most common scenario. Or 2, just try and do some stupid kind of dive, and just hope he doesn't get dived. I've linked the Discord in the chat if people would like to join. The date for it is still to be continued. Most likely, it will actually just be a YouTube video launch in a classroom setting, and I can answer questions and all that in scenarios, because obviously every single scenario is going to be different with every single car and the kind of players you're versing, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. And in the future, I'll run other classes like what does throttling do? Because I doubt most people know what, why am I slowing down if my gas is full?
Hey, Andy, does it mean that your masterclass would be the most up-to-date guide, like for MT6?
Yeah, I mean, in 5DX Plus, with the launch of MT6, we had to wait for like a year. But, I was hoping to God that it was an ES3 launch, which, from what we know, it's like a half ES3 mutant system, but basically ES3. I studied... Well, okay, that makes you sound like a nerd. I watched a lot of Japanese battle videos, and I looked at certain ways people take certain corners that I tried applying in DX Plus, and it just didn't work because the physics just didn't work. But now it actually does. It actually works surprisingly well. Especially, I will be using a very common turn that many people struggle with maintaining first place on. And I'll talk about the main differences between people's cars, and I've subdivided most cars into small, medium, large, and extra large. What tactics are better for what cars can do this tech better, what cars can, don't work well, but, might still be able to work, you can still apply it, stuff like that. So
we're going to have another car tier ranking.
Yay.
Yeah, but it's just going to be large in sizes and stuff. But yeah. Like, I could not say... So, for example, one of the texts that I'll be discussing is called the wall wedge, basically. There's no other real term for it. Basically, you somewhat full throttle through a corner while hard steering in the opposite direction. No, not the opposite direction, but in the... Like, say you're turning left, so I'll turn more left, but I'm purposely trying to hit my rear right corner on the wall, on the outside wall, which will actually change, because of the way wall physics works now, it basically makes your car like a ton, and because you're already at an angle that no one can dive you at.
So I assume it's like if you hit the wall and you make the turn, your car is heavier and then becomes
kind of
a hard rock.
Yeah, because you've also slowed down, minus 30 k's an hour. You're also, because speed is somewhat now connected to weight, you basically your nose will just hold through the corner. And I know that a lot of people in Brisbane know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's utter bullshit. And it works on most medium to extra large cars. Works very well in extra long cars.
It's very well in the 34.
Yeah, it's so useful in so many scenarios where you just don't know what to do and you just go for the Hail Mary, because if you don't do something like this, you're going to get dived anyway, right? Because you just know as a player you're not good enough to take this corner while holding the inside line to, just not be dived. You just know that you're not going to be able to make it. So this tactic somewhat baits people into being like, oh yeah, I can dive this guy. And what actually happens in a wall wedge, if they dive you, is they die. Like, you literally take all of their speed. And it is one of the safest things you can actually do.
And then you take off.
Yeah, you gain about depending on the turn, obviously, anywhere from a 20 to 60, 70 meter lead.
That's really good.
Yeah. So, feel free to join my team, my Discord, and sub to my YouTube channel, where I'll basically be running a classroom, talking about other kinds of tech in the future. And I mean, some people ask me to do TA, and all I can do is like teach them the basics, because I'm not that good. Like, I can like load 47 or stuff, but that's not good. But to some people, that's insane. Just like basic throttling stuff, because most people don't know what throttling does.
Okay, well, that'll be like another thing.
It's like a whole series, basically.
Yeah. So, we've talked about the illegitimacy. So what? Let's say, what is the fallout of having an illegitimate card? Or an illegitimate anything?
So I think an illegitimate claim, people think you're full of shit, and then will treat you likewise. I think this is the most obvious thing. If people know so if people know you're lying, saying, oh yeah, I tuned this card from scratch when it's a clearly blatant rename, e.g. John Lee, people don't take you seriously anymore. That's just how it works.
John Lee.
That being said,
John Lee.
It's like if you buy like, for example, if Andy one day sells his Aventador, and then because of the abundance of rename tickets now, someone goes and renames and be like, oh, look at me, I have a triple S 8 or triple S 9, whatever rank you are, Aventador, I did this myself, it has my name on it. It's pretty much the same thing. Like it's just like I'll give you a comparison. It's like for example, if you go buy a supercar from a bloody auction and your mum and dad pay for it, it's like, look at me, I drive a supercar, jokes my parents pay for it. It's like, it's not, you didn't achieve it, someone else did.
Okay. So do these people deserve to be outcast, or?
I think they already know. If they're lying to themselves to lie to the community, under the intention that they'll gain some kind of respect from it, I think they've already outcast themselves. And most likely, if they don't get the recognition they want, they'll just leave. Try and fool some other idiots.
Yeah, being a forehead is a risky thing to do,
Yeah.
Okay. And what about people that have just ridiculous claims?
Like what? Like I'm rank 1 of a certain map when very clearly you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Or
people that instigate fights, like purposefully.
So Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, pretty much.
I mean, that just creates a toxic environment for MT in general. I think that's been the case with most games, to be honest, like arcade games. Like, I think if you scroll far back enough to when people actually played Tekken in arcades, there was some fights occasion that pop up every now and again, but I think it was generally pretty chill. But I think any competitive game where there's a definitive winner and loser, there's always going to be some kind of toxicity around.
People's egos get hurt.
It probably has to do with the unique environment of arcade games, because it's the only kind of game type where you are in face-to-face contact with someone.
Yeah.
I think imagine that.
Yeah. So what would you say right now? Online is the most toxic game.
Online.
CS:GO.
Yeah. CS:GO.
League of Legends, Combat Arms.
Oh, League of Legends.
Fuck that game.
Yeah, I think League of Legends has. I think because there's so many people playing, there's a huge community of toxic players, and it goes pretty unseen.
Yeah.
Like the people know it exists and they just kind of accept it. So imagine if every single game of League you played, you were sitting in the same room.
Oof.
Yeah, that it would not end well.
People they just talk. They're just angry because they're losing, but in real life they won't do anything.
Yeah,
People will be sword fighting with the mechanical keyboards IRL.
Yeah. It's gonna couch lock you to death.
Okay, so now we've talked about the illegitimacy of cars and ranks and all that other stuff. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to the actual question. What does this actual mean? What does this actually mean? Is there a claim to being the first legitimate anything?
No.
No?
I like unless you recorded every single game you played, showing yourself playing it, I don't think you can claim it.
Okay, so now I'm actually going to call this out and say let's what is the first legitimate Penta S in Australia?
Under that definition, in Australia, does it have to be Australian registered car?
Well, that's a thing. Like, does that matter?
Yeah, because like there's a lot of Hong Kong players that come over, and you don't know where their cars came from, right?
Yeah.
You don't know where they started at. They started in Hong Kong. How would you know, right?
I don't know.
And there are statistically impossible rename stat cars, right? So there was actually I don't know if it was a bug or something intentional by Namco, but some of the mileage stats got reset in MT4. So, for example, my brother has an Evo 9 rename. I'm pretty sure it was an SPW rename. Had like 10k stars, right? And for some reason, the mileage got reset to 20k. That's physically impossible to have 10,000 stars at 20,000 mileage, right?
Wow.
Absolutely impossible.
Seen some similar.
And it had like 1,000 ghost trophies at the time, and basically it's impossible. So under that scenario, you can say it's an illegitimate car because it is physically impossible to create that kind of car, right? So I think if a car's stats line up to being a legitimate car, you can legitimately say it is legitimate. I said legitimate a lot.
Okay, so
Stitch's car is Hong Kong registered, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, pretty, yeah, it's Hong Kong. Yeah, it is.
No.
Yes,
It is. I've seen.
it is.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's Hong Kong racing. You just don't pay attention.
Sad Stitch.
Steve.
You've been using his car as well, Jimmy.
Oh, I don't care. I'm just playing as a Stitch. That's like the ultimate shit man.
Lol.
Yeah. So I think that if the stats can line up to being legitimate, and you can prove at least you played this many games, which you can, to a certain extent, then yeah, sure.
But who was the first legitimate Penta-S in Australia?
I would have to look at every single stat, and I've done calculations beforehand because my brother has a card on his data. He hasn't played since 3DX Plus, so I basically control his data, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an R32 on it that has white meter, has very low stats, so it's not an immediate, okay, this car's impossibly good. Sorry, impossibly started. So I spent like a week looking up old 3DX Plus MT4 rank up sheets, basically lining up the stats to, is this car legitimate? Can this car be made from from scratch?
Okay.
And it lined up perfectly, but he has no recollection of ever making this car.
Mm-hmm. And
so we assumed that it was given to us by a friend.
Okay.
That quit, before MT4 came out.
But that doesn't answer the question. Who's the first legitimate? Is it the Adelaide? Is it Adelaide? Is it DXMT? What is it?
Without looking at any stats, the only thing I can say is JMac was first FkNSRS because he was the first FkNSRS player, Australian player playing in Australia to achieve it. Right? He was the first player to look at. Whether it's legitimate or not, I have to look up the stats, but without attacking someone and saying it's illegitimate without looking at proof that it is illegitimate, then I have to say it's legitimate. It's innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. Anyone else want to weigh in on this?
That's the first one I saw on. That's the first one I saw.
Go ahead,
If I'll be honest, I don't give a shit.
Penta-S, it's a very it is an achievement.
Just a rank in a game that people can
to some
achieve.
people, a
if
rank
you
is
spend
everything.
money.
To some people, the rank means the life means life and death. It means if it feeds their children or it feeds their wife and kids or not. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
No, but like, look at it. Like, okay, so, I will eventually get to Penta-S as well, but like, I'm not going to try to get there. I just do it as I go.
Yeah.
It's same with me.
Yeah,
like
it's
eventually,
not
I'll hit a rank higher, but
to get it. You know, for some people, yeah, that's their achievement or that's their goal. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But there's no such thing as legit or not legitimate. It's the same shit.
Yeah. I think if you put someone down for it, though,
right?
Yeah. I think if you put someone down for it, saying, "Oh, I got this rank," okay, you didn't do it for real though. Yeah, I think that's
So if you,
I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty toxic because you're just like discouraging people. It's like, look, it's like someone has spent time and effort and money, whether it be outsourcing, playing it themselves. People have spent money because we all paid to play the game, and for someone to put you down and say like, hey, your achievement is invalid. It's like someone saying, oh, EJ, your 10th grade pro is invalid because so and so played your car. Like I will openly admit like I've loaned my car out a couple of times too, but that's after 10th grade pro. But like it's the same thing. Like it's a kick in the face because
is your 10th grade pro legitimate, EJ?
Oh, I don't know, man. Fishing, a lot of fishing.
Is your 10th grade pro legitimate?
Illegitimate.
Remember, you have a 5% leeway, as the 5% is intentional, consistent fishing.
Brother, I lost to a guest that got 10th grade ace. Okay, how does that sound? Okay, I got a black medal to 10th grade ace. No,
Yeah,
but honestly, like
no,
obviously,
answer the question, yes or no?
Yes, it is legitimate.
Is it legitimate?
It's a legitimate claim, and my car was tuned from N class.
No, well, I'm talking about the 10th grade pro. Like 10th grade pro is more about battles. So,
Battle.
Are all the battles, have you fished for more than 5% of your time?
We're not.
Guys, anyone want to weigh in?
If it's not, then
that's
yeah, it's
fair.
legit.
It's fair because I saw EJ's black metal ratio. Like the ratio is like what 4,000 blacks. Is it?
Let me see. It's like 3,000 gold, 3.3 silver, 3.5 bronze, and over 2K black.
That's an even
if it's 2,000
distribution.
black.
Yeah, even distribution.
That's not a fishing stats, right? Like 2,000 black. That means you have to spend literally $4,000 losing to someone.
Yeah,
That's a
like
lot.
so there's a C6 Corvette like ZR1 made in Japan, right? His name's Jin. He was Quartus in DX Plus, right? And in MT6 he didn't get one. I'm pretty sure he only get one or two of the easy, quote unquote easy MT6 rank ups. He played 10,000. Yeah, he got Penta S by getting 70,000 stars on a ZR1.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of stars and a lot of hard battles. But was it all
on
fishing?
a ZR1?
Was it fishing?
No. There's regular interval videos of him just battling like some of the best players in Japan. Oh, sorry, well-known players in Japan. Players like Ligo and K, who was for sure K was one of the first players to hit 1 mil mileage on his EVO 8. Pretty sure. Whether that's a legitimate or not, I don't know. Japan's server's wild. There's a rename that has 16 million mileage on it.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But is it legitimate?
I don't know.
It was a rename.
Yeah, so players like Jin, I have mad respect for because they play the game exactly the way they want. They don't care about ghost battle. They don't care about story. All he cared about was battle. That's all he had fun doing. So that's all he did, and he got Penta-S from it, just from battling.
Okay.
I agree. Everyone has their different targets. Like for myself, like my card's only S rank. But like if I play more ghost or play more story, I can rank it up pretty easily. But I don't find the fun or I don't have the passion in doing so. I just want to battle and have fun. Same thing.
Okay.
Same here. It's like since MT6 dropped, I was just aiming for my Celsius to hit the triple S9, and I managed to do it. And eventually, I couldn't continue playing more because I finally started my internship, so I couldn't even be as active. So I also wanted to say something about that. Like I don't have the means to pay for any services or buy a rename or buy any data whatsoever, even though I don't have the time. It's just my personal preference, but I think it was totally acceptable if people would seek those services just to make sure that they have like something that they wanted out of it.
Exactly. And I think if people actually put money into services, it encourages the services to stay around, which I think it's very valuable for people who are time poor.
Time poor or like can't play the game.
Yeah. So, like, starting next year, February, I'm going back to uni and I don't have time to be playing games all day. So, if I have money and I want to progress my car, I'll pay someone to do it.
Cool.
That's just capitalism.
Cool. So, essentially, it's just more about the. Essentially, it's more about the intention, the morality, but also the legitimacy of effort-based things.
No, I think it's all about priorities in life. Like, you know, people that, as you get older, your priority changes. And, you know, when you just don't have the time to play, then, you know, but still want to progress, you pay someone else to do it. You're still paying for it. You know, it's not like you're getting for free. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so like you're still paying time. You're still paying a resource because time is money. Money is time.
Yeah. Well, time is probably worth a lot more than money. You know, as you get older, that's how it is. That's the progress.
So like, it's like, would I rather skip a 1 hour lecture of something I'm paying thousands of dollars to do in the first place to go play MT for an hour? Like, it's just not worth it.
Like, like the demographic for MT players when we started playing, we were like, what, high school kids?
Yeah.
Like, and like, you know, like first year uni, of course.
Primary school, bro.
Yeah. Oh, your primary school, fuck. And then when you get older, like, you know, when you get to say, me and Andy, where we're like, you know, Andy's going for his masters. I've you know, like I finished my uni, doing a second degree, and you know, I work full time. You don't exactly have that kind of time to play the game because you want to focus on one, like, you know, getting a fucking job. Two, you know, like focusing on your life, like, you know, buying a car, buying a house, be it whatever, you know, buying a fucking boat like Jimmy. You know, it's like everyone has different priorities in life, and you know, the world doesn't fishing too, and the world doesn't revolve. Your world doesn't exactly revolve around, you know, like achievements in a video game. And you know, when you get older, when you don't have the time, it's like, for example, if you have a house and you have tenants, sometimes you don't have the time to go and say, "Where's my fucking rent, cunt?" So you get an agent. You pay the agent because you're using their service to collect the rent. It's kind of the same as you know, paying someone to do your story or paying someone to wash your car, clean your house, you know, mow the lawn because you don't have the money. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Cool. So that deals with the illegitimacy claim. So, I guess yeah. I mean.
I got one more thing to ask. What should we do as a community to handle people who are in this spectrum of illegitimate claim or testing the legitimacy? What should we do as a community? Is like, maybe for example, if someone has already been called out for making such a claim, what should we do with them if they've already come out?
So I think the whole innocent until proven guilty thing works. I mean, like, claiming a rename to be legitimate, you can get found out really quickly because renames have different series. So there's the 88 K-Star, 1.5 mil mileage, Evo 9 renames, you know, stuff like that. There's certain stars a car can have that was a base from a rename. So I think if you make a claim and someone has tangible evidence that your claim is false, then you're probably just going to get cussed out, and whether you go from there it depends on the scope of your claim. So, you know, if you, like I said, if you claim a 1.5 mil mileage, even 9 rename to be legitimate, someone's going to call you out real quickly, and people are probably going to call you dumb. Just because you're like a kid, you know, you're a kid trying to get some attention, which, you know, fair enough. Most kids want attention these days, but what to do with them is a tough call. I think it always depends on the scenario.
The biggest problem with these people is that they flex, and they try to flex against everyone just for the attention, and you know, regardless of whether you give them the attention or not, it's always going to look on, I guess, themselves in. it's going to be like a lose-lose situation. You either ignore them and they keep like flexing and, you know, people get sucked in, or you go, hey man, this is not cool, and they're like, they take it on board and they just grow from it, and they grow because they feed off that attention. So there are numerous many people that used to do that and that still do that. You know, what we do about them, probably just discard them from like the groups and all the rest of it and just not get involved. That's my personal opinion. Just don't get involved.
Which is the right call, because, you know, who cares, really?
Yeah, and the more,
I don't wanna waste time on that.
yeah, but like with like specific trolls. Oh, what's an old troll that is? So okay, let's go Dominic Nobles, right? He was basically super relevant, and he became relevant because people gave him attention. People wanted to, quote unquote, bully him. People wanted the laughs from bullying him, and that's how he became relevant. So like the less attention you give an intentional troll or just a kid, you know, trying to get attention, the less they will appear.
Is that the Dominique? Why you lose?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wow.
So it's just like, you know, like if the more you respond to them, like, you know, like of course, like with MT, there's a big audience, and like, you know, of course, like they're gonna get the attention that they want. E.g., Wang and Brian, if you guys know who Wang and Brian is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Anyways,
became
like-
he literally became relevant because he was an idiot.
Dominique, why you
Yeah.
lose?
He fucking made mainstream news.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the news too.
Who's the guy that got jailed?
Alvin.
Yeah. Is that Arbal?
No, this one's different. Alvin, the guy that owned Happy, because he was running like a pyramid scheme where it's like, oh, I'll double your returns, and then he just lose all his money at the fucking casino, and then he can't pay people back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's big time fraud.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure the last we heard of it was he
He got
basically
sentenced to 25 years in jail.
No. It was like 11 years, but for every single case that's being investigated is true, it's like a plus 5-year sentence.
What?
So it's every single case that's been investigated, and found it to be true of fraud, his sentence gets extended.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dominique, why you lose?
So I guess like just not getting involved and just ignoring people who are like that is the right course of action. How about for those who have how about those who have realized that what they've done was pretty dumb? What can we do with them?
Oh, sorry, repeat it? I missed the last one of that.
Oh, it's like so people who were like that dumb, and then they realized what, and
so they want to reform.
The community.
Right.
Yeah, like they've reformed.
They just need to apologize and then just don't be stupid again from that
Yeah, but
point.
don't apologize in a stupid way.
Yeah, apologize.
Like I think the easiest way to apologize is to just stop doing whatever you were doing.
Well, yeah, that's one.
Yeah. And just being legitimate.
Legitimate. Just be legitimate.
Yeah.
Legitimate as in honest. Yeah, that's the right way to put it.
Okay. And so how does everyone feel about flexing in general?
I think it has a place and time. I think it's fine, to be honest.
Place, time, and frequency. Like if you constantly do it, then people will be like, okay, we get it, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not stopping Degeneration Gap though from fucking spewing all these bullshit.
No, I think flexing is okay because it creates friendly competition,
Okay.
which is always a good thing.
Depends on what
it
kind of
can.
flex.
Yeah, so say like the whole most recent event is Banks versus Ivan. You know, they had a Taikon down basically competition for rank 1. They went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth,
Yeah.
and rank 1 got like 400 milliseconds faster or some crap. I forgot. You know, I genuinely hope that can happen again. Probably for like one of the less common play maps, like Shibuya or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that kind of flex that's always good.
Okay.
And I think if you worked hard to earn your legitimate 10th grade or whatever versus grade, that's, you know, actually flex worthy, because no one wants to see you flex first or second grade. No one cares.
I care.
Right.
I barely even have first grade on any of my cars.
Yeah, no one cares.
I care. See,
Okay, you can
that's
care.
toxic. See, that's toxic. You're putting me down. Outcast.
All right, you can flex your first grade, but you shouldn't expect the same level of accolade as, you know, an 8th or 9th grade
Oh, yeah.
flex.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
like
fair.
it's more about
That's
like a
fair, right.
hey guys, I got first grade, yay.
Yeah, that's cool. And if you know, a couple people like it, yeah, cool, whatever.
Can you imagine someone who's like never played the game before, and then they suddenly get first grade? They're like, "Oh my god, there's an animal coming out of my car!"
Yeah, and then Andy comes
Yeah.
up and be like, "Stop fucking flexing, you dickhead."
Yeah.
Well, so toxic.
Yeah, so I think it's very reasonable to flex something that you worked hard for, because, you know, you worked hard for it, and it's nice when people say, "Wow, nice job, you know, cool car, let me borrow it." I think that's fine, but what's something that's unflexworthy? I think if you're a veteran player and you've done your fair share of flexing and bouting and whatever, people know who you are, right? And then you go and try and flex something new, that's
Illegitimate.
like you already had your praise. Give the limelight to someone else, right?
Are you talking about me?
Me,
No,
you fucking played the game for 10 years.
Yeah, you have everything.
Excuse me, more like 15 years.
Yeah, he's a boomer.
Oh, okay.
Boomer
Okay,
EPO.
Says it with pride. Like it's something, like it's something good.
Hey, look at me! I spent so much money on the game. I could have got a fucking house deposit.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I love you, Jimmy.
Could have bought a fucking Lamborghini outright, bro.
Illegitimate.
30-year-old boomer.
You don't need to buy Lamborghini. Okay, you come to me. I'll give you a loan, 20%.
Oof.
Oof, tempting.
Come on, man. You just joined the Moe. Don't worry. You join all the fucking Lambos down my street. They all have finance cards. Okay, I'll write all their loans.
Oh, I will fit right in there.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Jimmy.
And then
with
you get a
his,
heart attack when you get a trip to the mechanic, and you're like, What do you mean it's gonna cost me 15 grand to fix? I can barely afford my repayments. What do you mean, bro?
Just replace the ECU. It's easy.
No, actually, have you seen the petrol price today?
Yes, 172.
Dude, 195. Fuck you guys in Brisbane. I have 195 for 98.
Wow.
No, it's 170. It's 172 for unleaded 91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not
that's-
Well, when I see 172 for 91, I don't even drive into the petrol station. just keep driving. Just don't look at the gas meter.
No, you know, I got my car back yesterday, yeah, and then like I don't know, for some reason my mechanic probably had a fucking fun time with it. Ran out of petrol, so I went to a petrol station, and I was like, and then I see it's like 195. I'm like, fuck. It's like, bro, I spent $120 on petrol just to fill up my car, and then now it's like 3/4 full.
Yeah. So I think sorry, getting back to the question. Is flexing okay? Yeah. Can you do it all the time? No, because you're not flexing anymore. That's just called you're just tearing your muscles.
It's more like trying to seek validation kind of thing.
Yeah, it comes to the point where it's not a flex anymore. You're just attention seeking.
It's just like, yeah,
But it's like a very fine line. A very fine line.
What's this relevant to, though? Is this relevant to online, or is this okay? It's just a general.
Anything.
Anything. It's like
You can't have the one answer for everything. You need, like, for example, someone's giving someone shit or just flexing in general online. can't have the same answer from someone flexing in, just right next to you saying, check out my fucking sweet cut. Look at my rename list, basically. What most people do.
Was that Aaron?
Yes, Aaron.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
Aaron,
Steven.
Aaron,
Shut the fuck up.
Aaron, you can't talk. Get a main first before you can talk, alright?
Actually, he's got a main now.
No, he switched mains again, Jimmy.
Oh, he switched. He switched. Oh my god, he switched mains. Oh my god. Oh, hey guys.
You can really be really cluey about it, Mikey. You just ask Jimmy. So, Jimmy, what's Aaron's main? Tell me.
Tell me, Jimmy. What's his main this week?
Oh, this week was
Is it illegitimate?
S2K?
Is it illegitimate?
Close, because it's S2K, man. Not everyone can have it.
Oh. All right, hang on. Here's one for you guys. S2K, you buy it off someone else. You didn't get it yourself by participating in the event. Legit or not?
I don't want to talk about how I got my one.
Ah, illegitimate. Illegitimate.
Oh, I mean,
I push it past it as illegitimate to a theft.
I'm not,
Oh.
I'm not gonna go into that. I hope the person that is. I hope the
Daylight
person that
robbery.
is. Yeah. I
Illegitimate.
hope he's not
Absolutely
listening.
daylight robbery.
I hope he's not listening. I don't think he ever will hear
What happened? Tell me.
this. He's gonna go to the arcade.
I'll explain it to you
He's gonna
tomorrow,
go.
man.
He's gonna go to the arcade and he's gonna be like, "Oh shit! One of my cards isn't working. Oh, what? There's no data on it."
Well. Hang
it's,
on, hang on,
but-
Aaron. Let's wind the clock back, because if you think about it, technically it's minus 2000.
Okay.
No, it's mine and Matt's, because me and Matt's
Yeah.
helped him set it up.
Okay.
It's technically my S2000 because I was the only one fucking participated in the championship in Brisbane.
What do you mean?
Wow.
No, it wasn't for that.
Multiple venues?
No, it's because iPlay didn't want to set up the event.
Yeah, exactly.
no, it's 'cause we didn't want to-
do it.
No, for the because it had to be a battle event, but they wanted to set it
Yeah,
as a time attack event, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Down in Melbourne, it was time attack based. So
Yeah, that's right.
Everywhere except Japan was time attack.
Yeah.
Everywhere except Japan.
except for
What's that?
No,
Hang on.
Oh, no,
So,
Philippines was battle as well.
what about
Yeah, it's just Australia.
what about?
I think Australia's the only case with it was a time attack.
No.
I think New
New
Zealand
Zealand was battle.
Yeah.
New Zealand was battle.
Yeah. I think it was up to the discretion of the arcade.
So
But here's just to pause for a second. It's having people that have good TA times normally are good players in general. Like that can actually, apart from like maybe
White?
Jack White. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably the only exception. But most
No,
people
he's
that
a
can
nice
TA.
guy. Okay?
I'm not. No.
Everyone
I'm not.
understood.
No, I'm not giving him shit. I'm just saying he's just an average player, or above average, I should say, when it comes to battle. But most TA,
okay.
most people that can get good times in TA are most likely good at battle as well. That's what I'm trying to get.
No,
at.
false.
Yes and no.
Yes, no.
Not
that's-
true.
False. No, not true.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
You're just exposed to Brisbane,
Okay.
where the good players are time attack players.
Aaron, pick a main before you can talk. All right.
Yeah.
Is it
I don't want to shit talk Tykes or PMC. Tykes is an insane TA player, but his battle is mediocre.
Oof.
I agree. I
yeah.
played with Tykes for
And
3 years.
he knows that, which means that I'm not gonna try hard against him, because it's not that I don't need to, but it's just not fun, right? Like if I know I'm gonna win, then what's the point of
Why
trying
would
hard?
you try hard on NT? Come on. It's meant to be
Exactly.
a friendly, fun game.
Illegitimate.
Yeah. So
I really want to say, you say friendly fun game in Hong Kong, you get bashed. Jesus.
oh,
No, but that's just
Yeah,
nationality
2
issue. They're born to be slightly more autistic than other people, so they have to sort of flex their superiority.
Wow.
It's just a culture thing at that point. Like even MT and arcade culture is a culture. I just said it 2 times.
but yeah. Were we missing anything? I think we addressed basically
I
everything.
think we addressed everything. Does
Why
anyone
do you play this
else?
game?
Does anyone else have any other?
Oh,
Anyone else have, yeah. Anyone else got any other comments or anything that they want to raise?
Can you do a recap that I missed out on?
No.
You can rewatch the stream.
Oh, fuck.
Rewatch the streamer.
Oh, I don't want to hear myself talk.
Dude, you have
No, you'll have a whole
Actually,
you'll have a whole 40
Mikey,
minutes.
I have a question. You
Go.
know you made that stupid, crappy, the top 5 best battle car in DX Plus or whatever.
Me.
Oh, yeah, it's like the best tournament
Yeah.
cars, yeah.
The
Yeah.
best tournament car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has that list updated in your heart or not yet?
Oh, I haven't even considered that. Like I haven't used
Yeah.
I haven't used all the cars in the game to really comment. So that being
Wait a minute. Wait, sorry, let me interject. You promised me you'd do an Aventador re-review because I won the tournament.
yeah, well I gotta still. But I'm gonna.
You
but
didn't win it. It was rigged.
No, I won it. No, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got the trophy I got a trophy on my table. Okay?
I gave my.
Illegitimate claim.
I thought the trophy was dismantled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I had to borrow my uncle's spanner.
So-
my house dismantled.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna pass the torch for the review videos for that to the next generation. I just feel like I don't play.
That's gonna be a pain for one to watch.
I don't
Hey, Boomer.
I don't play enough to comment anymore.
To know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So yeah, basically, let me shamelessly plug my channel again.
Go.
I will eventually, if people want me to do car reviews after I do like the BattleTech classes and crap,
No.
and I have the time.
You
I'll-
talking shit? Come
Yeah.
on, Jesus
I don't know,
Christ!
Jas.
Look, okay,
No,
let me
this is
ask you this: is Evo 3 good?
Yes, it's still very viable.
Oof.
Yeah, exactly. Most people will say no, it's crap. Like
because they are
Anson. Anson said it sucks.
I don't like it.
That's the answer.
Yeah,
Okay,
see,
Anson.
nobody doesn't like it.
Which answer?
Okay.
It's
That's a
it's too rubbish for a small car. There's
But
like
you say that,
amongst
right? Okay.
amongst other small cars, there's so many better options.
Exactly.
No, well, because you're comparing to a wrong category. Like, okay, so
Yeah.
if it's small car, right? I would
It's
say
a battle car.
110S is probably one of the best smallest
I think
car.
it's
in
the
game.
best.
The best. But if you're putting onto that standard
D
to
boys.
Evo 3, yeah, then yes, it's gonna be bad. But then when you look
It's
across
also
Evo
garbage.
ranges,
It's also kind of garbage amongst Evos as well.
no, like it's like
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. You're
Evo 3
comparing.
comparison
Yeah,
is GCA.
it doesn't work.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
GCA is
yeah.
pretty damn good.
yeah, but that's when Evo 3 and GCA, it technically can do exactly the same thing, except GCA has stronger front than Evo 3. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But in terms of the tail hitbox, Evo 3 is actually better than GCA. So you can do a lot of steam and snook around the corners.
Yeah. So let me pull up my spreadsheet here real quick. All right. So the dimensions.
Yes, the data,
Yeah,
my data.
yeah. Let me open my spreadsheet. Alright, so let me look at the Evo 3 and look at the dimensions of the Evo 3. Alright, it is the same width as the Galant and the S15, the Corolla and the MR2. Right. And in terms,
What
Which
data
is very
is
small.
what data is this based on? Is this based on frame data or is this based on legitimacy?
this is hitbox data.
How do we get the hitbox data?
I saw it from Japanese players.
How?
They posted it.
How? Like as in how do they get it? Do they data mine?
Right.
Okay. Mikey, they're
I'm pretty sure
Japanese.
they're Japanese. They got it somehow.
Just it's all hentai. It's fine.
Yeah.
Did they
So,
actually
okay.
probably grab ruler and start measuring?
Yeah,
on, you know,
yeah. I'm pretty
frame
sure.
by frame?
I'm pretty sure that's what they did. They measured the pixels.
Bullshit.
No. I'm pretty. How else? Like, okay. Unless they can make
You think I'm
faceless.
taking that seriously?
So the Evo 3 is the same length as a Z32, Z33, and basically the same as a SA22C. If you compare the Evo 3 to the SA22C, what would you say?
SA22C is better.
Yeah, because
Probably.
yeah.
In terms of hitbox, SA22C will be better.
Yes,
but
okay,
hitbox
so-
acceleration,
What the
Evo 3
fuck? I got a fucking
yeah.
pineapple with sticks. This is bullshit.
So now you just said right that SA22C is better than Evo 3. Now compare the SA22C to an Evo 8. It's not a fair comparison because it's not the same car, and you shouldn't be driving it in the same manner. Like I said to Anson, the Evo 3 is not an Evo 8. It's not an Evo 9. Even then, it's not even close to an Evo 5 or 6 because it's actually way smaller than those. So you have to drive it differently. Like you would not drive. Oh, okay. Well, let me look at this.
Well,
You would
hang
not
on.
drive-
Hang on. The Evo 3 has all-wheel drive, and the SA22 is
Yeah,
rear-wheel drive.
exactly. Exactly.
You can't
Okay,
drive them the same.
Okay, so what's a big rear-wheel drive car? That's strong.
That's strong.
Fucking
Supra.
Charger.
Supra.
Fucking charger.
Charger.
Alright, so you would not drive an SA22 seated like a Charger.
Yeah, you
right?
would.
I mean,
No.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, probably gonna hit it every single apex, every single exit.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the issue that you will have is you're thinking that if you drive an Evo 3, like an Evo 8 and 9, you're gonna, 1, miss the apexes, 2, probably hit walls, go for blocks that you will that won't work because you're not driving the same car, you're not driving an Evo 8, but the handling is similar.
But what
right?
if
it is snappy.
but what if you change the dress up and to make it like an FR?
Well, get some Steven in here.
Oh,
do you really? Hang on. Do you really think Steven knows the answer for that?
Yes.
I mean, does he actually
Yes.
like research a lot? Like even to this day, I know that he used to like way back, but these days isn't he too busy with just life in general to worry about MT shit now?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what
We
he's.
just don't know because we hardly hear from him. That's about it. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he still only comes in like every Friday because he still hasn't got his R2 from scratch.
Wow.
Sorry, going back on topic, it's that kind of comparison that I will be making because I don't have number stats. I don't have hard numbers to judge what a car is based on, right? So the only thing you can really do is compare it to the good cars, right? You can compare it to what you know.
I think what people need to understand now is, especially MT6, every car
everything
is
is good.
very
Yeah.
viable.
Yeah.
Okay, there are of course
fair
there's
enough.
quirks on each car, but being said,
Every car is
every
viable.
car is viable. So people shouldn't be complaining about how my cars are shared, compared to your car or anything like that. It's just
I don't know. You make that complaint about my car all the time.
your
Even
car
on 2
is
and 5.
just has a broken. Yeah, okay. Aventador just has a weird ass fucking
everything.
hitbox with
It
amazing
has
acceleration.
everything.
So it just works. It just works that way. But the being said, like, it's not like not anyone can drive that car because it's so massive.
Exactly,
So
and that's
it
like
takes time to get used to.
Yeah.
So you still need to understand how to use that car, or else it's kind of useless. You're just going to be hitting every single apex. You're not
Which
going to
you
be
do.
able to even catch up to people. You're going to be hitting traffic by accident because you go, oh no,
I can
that's
fit through
too
that.
wide.
Yeah, I can fit through that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not easy, is what people say.
Yeah.
Of course, like R32s and Evo 8 and 9s are still very, very easy cars to drive as it was. But being said, still requires a certain amount of skill to use
some kind
it
of
to our full
understanding.
potential.
Yeah. So you could actually drive the same style with every car and perform equally as badly across the board.
Oh yeah.
But to really fine tune specific car, you just have to understand how the car needs to be played.
Yep.
So so I went from doing a Ventral TA to FD TA. It is the most horrible experience in the world. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to turn at this shadow like right now, and on a Ventral I'll be like hitting the apexes. I'm perfectly on pace, no speed loss at all. I play the same map on an FD instead. I'm like, alright, I need to turn the same shadow. I am like a good feet away from the wall, minus 2 k's an hour. It is that level of.
That's about right.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's the issue I had is I think FD sucks because I don't drive it and I drive
FD does
the most
suck.
gargantuan
In
car.
battle, it is a very painful car to drive, especially in the blocking battle. Like that FD just is very painful car. But in my scenario, I like the car a lot, so that's why I've been using it since MT1.
Yeah, it's legitimate. Have proof.
Hey.
Yeah, so
It's not legitimate. It doesn't have an Amco meter on it.
Oof.
Oh, that's because he sucks. No. That's
actually
proof that he
a
sucks.
sign of
Yeah, it's
legit-
proof that he
That means
sucks. Yeah.
because you see
That
progress.
stuff is impossible to control. In
Okay.
MT2, winning or losing a story chapter is pretty much life or death, and it's very common with
Yeah,
that. That's
because
why even
a
myself.
lot of people don't realize because MT1, right? When I started, I was shit. I got shaded. A week later, after full tuning MT1, MT2 came out, which I shaded again. Because you get unshaded by transferring, and I shaded again. So basically, and then at the time, I think to get full tune, you have to finish the story, and you have to have it's 2,000 kilometers to get full tune.
Yeah. And I think
if you don't have the
2,500.
Was it 5,000? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
5,000 kilometers. So you had to, I still grind through to 5,000 K to get full tune. That's the progress that I had. That's like my way to prove it's legit. And I've got the photo, I got the screenshot, from a long time ago till now. So no one can say mine's me.
3GP screenshot.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. Photoshop nowadays are fantastic.
Yeah.
Jimmy, did you consider starting your car again to get white?
No, never.
No, because that's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of money. It was just because I was too shit at the game to realize that it's actually better for me to start again. But then I know for a fact that if I start again, I still probably gonna shade it anyway. Yeah. So it's just a process of it's just a learning curve.
Which is what I was talking about before you joined. Is I think one of the best things for established players with a community already to do is actually invite newer players into the game and into your group, and actually just watching them grow as a player and get faster and get better.
Yeah.
So you remember the first day I came back to MT and you invited me to Sunnybank. Boy, I was fucking terrible.
Oh well, that's the thing. But for example, same thing with a lot of players, the current players in Brisbane. First time when I saw them, they were all right, but they're not the best. They don't know. You can tell that these players won't get better. Some players you can tell that they're just not ever gonna be. They might spend a lot of money, but they're just not gonna get the improvement that they should.
It's because they just do the same thing over and over again.
Expect to get the same mistake. They don't listen. They don't watch. They don't play properly.
Yeah, so I think if people want to get better at the game, they will.
Oh yeah,
that's just how it is.
That's same with everything really.
Yeah, any
game. If you want to become better at it, you gotta listen to people. You have to do the research, and some people just don't.
Yeah.
Anything else? Mikey?
Why do you play this game?
Why?
Yeah. Anyway, tune into the AVO YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There will be a class.
Jesus Christ.
Odds are I'm gonna do it.
Question, guys. It's sort of related, sort of unrelated. So for example, right? If you know how when people buy a car, finance is such an easy thing to do. Okay, so for example, you are like 20, 25 years old, and then you go and find a Lamborghini that you want, and then you don't have the money, obviously, but you go take out a fucking $192,000 loan from a bank. Someone approves it, and then you get the car. Can you flex that? Is that legitimate or not?
Yes, you can flex it, but being said, if I was in that situation, I couldn't make the payment, you can pretty much reverse back to the bank and say that's unlawful lending practice because they knew that you couldn't afford to pay that loan, yet they lend you the money. But that's actually called backfire to the bank anyway. So, Mr. Banking guy at Commonwealth, EJ.
Okay, so on that EJ, I'm gonna chime in here. That GDR 3034. Do you have a photo of that?
Yeah, it wasn't mine, right?
it.
Do you have it?
No.
Why?
No, didn't you see it, Mikey? Didn't you see the photo?
What do you mean? I can vouch for EJ. EJ showed me when I was in Sydney once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. EJ showed me his 34 when I was in Sydney.
The backstory is I backed out of. I didn't buy one. Didn't own one. I backed out of the sale.
Why?
Oh,
GDR, man.
Okay.
GDR. You could have been Igor. You could have been like, hey Igor, flex. Why is there a dragon? Come
I'm
here.
pretty sure EJ was 10th grade way before fucking Igor, wasn't he?
No,
Eagles
Eagle
was-
got 10th grade pro before me.
Ah.
Yeah. Ego was number 1.
Yeah, but EJ and I think
No,
he was
come
trying
back.
to get the more stars. Was it like 20 or 30k stars? 30k. I think it
Okay.
was.
So back then, like every single grade up to 10th ace, I got a first, but 10th ace, thing caught up, Eagle caught up, and then he was in Thailand, so yeah, like he got 10th grade pro in Thailand, and then he told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Fishing expedition at Thailand.
Bro,
Wait a minute.
Nah,
He didn't
but
get it in
he's
Australia.
playing-
Does that make it illegitimate if he didn't get it in
Oh
Australia?
no.
No. If he says he's an Australian player, then it's legitimate.
So
Okay.
does that make me illegitimate because I'm not technically Indonesian?
Oh.
Well, you are technically Indonesia, but you're not in what? What?
Well, think of it like this: my Socio is a Singapore registered car, but I mainly live in Indonesia, and for the most of the time in the MT community where I was improving a lot, I did it in Australia.
That's so not legit.
Oh, Kevin, I got a question. Kevin.
Yeah.
So you had Indonesian data and international server data on the same card? Did you?
Yes.
So they merged together?
Yes, that
Yeah,
was
they
that was correct.
Ah, so
On the same profile?
Yes.
so
Wow.
that means you had two Celsius side by side
Wow.
on the same.
I never made a Celsius in Indonesia after
Oh.
transferring it in Singapore.
Oh, okay. Ah, so that's
Yeah, I got
why
lucky.
that's why they increased the car limit to 200 because 100 plus 100.
Hey.
Yeah.
1 plus
That
1.
was my guess though. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't think anyone
Steven
even
has more
had.
to say about that.
I got lucky because I initially assumed, oh shit, I think I'm gonna corrupt my banner data, but
Oh,
then
no.
I just stuck with it for the rest of MT4 to 5x plus, and I got rewarded in MT6.
Damn, son.
No, the Japanese are like, oh, but we gotta look after Kevin, eh?
No, okay. That's actually one thing that is really pisses me off is the non-compatibility of international data in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
okay, so in World Championship, right? They managed to actually make a replicate car of all our
With the regions as well.
yeah, regions, everything into Japanese server, right? So technically speaking, they could do it. It's just they don't want to do it.
Didn't
I
they
think it's-
delete? Didn't they
Yeah,
delete
they
the
did.
data once they
Yeah,
the
because Jimmy tried to
was-
take his card. Jimmy tried to take his
Yeah.
card.
That's the thing. Well, okay, my idea was I thought we can keep the data, so I was like, oh, well, fantastic. That means I have replicated a copy of my international data in Japanese server with Australian region. But then they decide to take everyone's back.
What?
afterwards. Yeah, it's really sad face.
What if you wanted to play MT
Scam.
afterwards?
Scam Cobain,
Insider
scam.
information.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, they managed to copy every single stat. Even the fucking title was copied. So they just did a copy and paste into Japanese server and worked straight away perfectly. You still have the gold plates to get everything that you had.
Hang on, even the title. So was it showing up as half width or full width characters? Or
No, it converts into Japanese of equivalent of same title.
oh, so it's Japanese characters.
It's Japanese characters, whatever title you have. But yeah, it's a replicate copy of exact data. But technically speaking, they can, do it. But they just don't do it.
I think it's 100% possible they can do it, and they would be willing to do it. But it's also a matter about like localization efforts, and even the licensing of vehicles has to be localized. So if you
Yeah,
notice
that's
in
true.
Japan, they call it the MX-5s of roadsters.
Oh, it's a case in point. There would have to be America doesn't have like the Celsius or anything like that due to
Who
the
cares
licensing
about
issues.
US?
No, but it's just like as a reference. It's just
Yeah,
case in point.
That doesn't even
Yeah.
make sense for Australia because we got a Toyota Celsius, but we never got that for sale here in dealerships. We got Lexus LS 400, so even that doesn't make sense.
That would probably have to do something with U.S. law because the U.S. law is where all the copyright laws originate.
Yeah, it's just all the patent laws in US are really, really weird. Well, that's why, like, the Porsche and Gambale name changes happen like throughout the years of MT. Like, well, International didn't have Porsche technically till 4 because before that, MT2 you can sort of hack the car out, the Porsche out, but it's not something that you can select on international machines.
I wish Alan was in the Discord for this question coming up.
He's in the chat.
Sure, Alan's still on.
Apparently,
He's in the YouTube chat.
Oh, is he? Anyway, do we have any sort of idea of any more events coming to international? Like anything? I mean, like
No.
not. We have
no info. I've asked Japanese players. I've asked big Japanese teams that
When you
apparently
say
top
event,
Sudan
like what event
I
are you
mean,
talking about?
I'm talking about
OCM.
anything.
OCM.
Here's the thing, no. During 5DX Plus, we got an event every 2 or 3 months. It was actually quite consistent. It was pretty
Okay,
good.
well, as far as I know, they said they will do the events eventually.
I'm pretty sure for MT6 it's a bit iffy for them because even Japan had delayed events.
Yeah, because okay,
MT6's new dev team.
yeah. When I was talking to the devs when I was in Japan, like they did say they want to do events, but like in terms of OCM, they don't know if they will for 6. They said they might bring back for future generation,
Did you?
like 60 XDX Plus.
I'm surprised that you didn't dig deeper though when it came to like you didn't ask him like what's the reason for no OCMs and all that shit.
First thing, like, because I don't really give a shit. It's their decision. It's their game. Okay, they will do as they please.
No, I'm not saying that you're trying to push. I'm not saying like
privileged to play the game as it is. I'm happy to just receive 6. So it's not really our job to demand what we get. They will give it to us as we. Yeah.
Just saying, and I'm just trying to like. I would. It's just more of a case of like an answer to the reason why we haven't been getting any sort of OCM.
Saws, man, saws. Nah, I don't know.
Goddamn saws.
Goddamn saws.
Goddamn saws.
I'm pretty sure stuff like that. There is even a non-disclosure agreement from Bandai Namco, so they can't disclose the information.
Which is fair enough.
I think the partial reason is to do with people buying and selling gold play service. I'm certain about partially their reason to it.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, like or else there's no reason for them to remove that event. Or no other reason. Like this, I can't see any other reason to remove it because it's a fucking money grabber. Like people spend money during OCM time. Like it's a ridiculous amount of money that goes in. So especially for a company that takes a cut off each game being played, it's a stupid decision to remove it. It's money grabber. Like they will make a lot in a day. Like OCM goes for 2 weeks pre-entry plus 1 week, 3 weeks. So pre-entry probably not going to be making a lot of money, but the 1 week that for the actual event that's people average. Yeah.
That's right. You know what we used to do down in Knox when the last I remember going to the last OCM that happened. We actually stayed overnight at Knox because we. Mikey, do you remember I think his name was Jimmy, the old manager, store manager at Knox? Yeah, he actually. I think we stayed there overnight until the Saturday morning when the actual last day was on.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know if you were there for that.
No.
But I'm trying to figure out, is that a reason why they would they dislike that if we actually started, ahead of everyone else before everyone's, like, for example, time zones used to
I
open
think
at, like,
that
10.
is a very, very situational.
Well, it doesn't matter if you start before someone on OCM. It matters where you end.
Yeah, because
It just all
the
matters
smartest
when
way to play OCM is that last pretty much last two reset. Last reset to last two reset. That's that's the part that matters.
That's all that matters.
The first 6 days, it's
No
a
one
waste
cares.
of money. Like you could spend $200-300 per day spamming it, but then you're not gonna get anything. You're gonna get pushed down on the ranks anyway because people is gonna be cushioning throughout the whole reset, and it's pointless. It's endless, chase of trying to get number one or top 100 in any cases anyway. So it's just better off for you to keep that money to your last 2 reset and spam it on the last 2 reset.
Yeah. So the current, I'm pretty sure the last OCM winner, and sorry for Japan anyway, and a bunch of the last ones, they literally all they do is they qualify at the start, right? Don't touch OCM at all. Play on the last day for an hour, and then they win.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because to get the
people just play
qualification,
for
you just
fun.
need to play one game. That's it.
Yeah, 1 game because it's basically impossible to lose that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, while we have a bit of a intermission, this is where I say bye. I'm feeling pretty
wanna play
gross.
CS?
So-
CS, bro? Yeah, CS? Yeah.
No.
Oh, fuck you.
No.
I'm gonna hop
I'll
off
play
now.
CS.
I have to.
Oh, not you, EJ.
Nice talking to you all. Tune into the AVO channel for the masterclass and
Please don't encourage AVO.
do it.
It's a horrible team.
It's not. It's a good team.
What
We
is
have
what?
15 members.
Hang on. What is?
It's kind of rich. It's rich coming from the leader of DSM to call another team toxic.
Yeah, you're
I
just
know
jealous.
it's
You're
toxic,
just jealous.
Horrible.
What is?
Horrible and toxic. Toxic is very.
What
good.
is?
Avocado.
What does AVO mean?
I refer Andy as toxic.
AVO stands for anti-valor or whatever.
What the fuck?
What
What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, so valor is a synonym for bravery. So anti-valor means you're not brave. Basically, calling yourself a pussy.
Pussy.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Why would anyone want to call himself a pussy?
I'm just kidding. It's just short for avocado.
Why the fuck would you want to be an avocado?
Dude, why wouldn't you?
Avocado is a
got healthy,
fantastic,
yeah, it's got some
healthy
vegetable.
Yeah.
It's a vegetable.
It's a
Oh, no, it's a
meat
fruit.
of veggies, okay?
Yeah, it's got some good saturated fat. No, yeah, it's no saturated fats, monosaturated fats. I don't know what.
Avocado drinks are
But
really
it's good for your cholesterol.
Avocado is a good, perfect vegetable.
Yeah. It's a fruit, Jimmy. It's a fruit.
A fruit, veggie, same shit, different smell, alright?
You're always gonna pay more for avocado.
Yeah, $2.50 sometimes. Sometimes I pay $3.50.
Go to
sometimes
Inala.
for $2 for
Inala.
$5. Yeah, but that's Vietnamese. They don't pay tax, so it's really
Oh, cash only. Sorry.
they're cash only.
Yeah, actually, if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's literally what it says on fair trading. If a company, if a organization or store says that they don't do split bill or no card, they can't do anything. They just tell you to go somewhere else. That's what it says on the website.
Oh, which is fair. It's up to shop's discretion, really.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. No, bye bye.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, team AVO. Peace out.
Off topic, very slightly and very quickly. Jimmy, there are Wreckfest servers up for AU, and I'm in a full one at the moment.
Actually, I was going to tell you that there is a Arma 2 DayZ server running at the moment on Australian server. I saw one the other day. It's not. It doesn't have a huge population. It's only got 24 slot. But when I saw it the other day, there's a 12 player on it.
I mean, I'm happy to commit
not
to.
big.
I'm happy to commit to anything that's Arma 2 based, and if it has players on it, then I'm happy.
Let's see. Let me just check again. Yeah, there is. Stay Frosty 2019. Yes, there's 19 people out of 24 slots. So yeah, that's pretty good for Australian server. Like
What day is he? What mod is it though?
Epoch.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
By the way, Jim, I paid for Halo, Jimmy, already.
Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
It's good.
Why?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, I know for a fact that you're gonna be opening the game, play once, and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go back and play CS.
Oh, I've played
Mikey.
Halo before though.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of CS, who wants to do the missions with me? I'll be back in like 15, 20.
You're 15, 20 minutes. You're
Matt-
forced.
I'm probably gonna head off
No,
because I've got
no,
to.
shut the fuck up. I will actually come back. Okay.
Alright.
No,
My fucking
that's a
girlfriend's
lie.
working a double
Okay.
shift.
So,
Shut the fuck up.
Mikey,
My girlfriend's working a double shift. Okay. I'm free to play games.
Okay.
All right. So
who's, so
I-
who
hold up.
Oh,
Hold up.
sorry, Mikey.
Hold up. All right. So.
Okay, fine.
All right. So I'm gonna end this stream now because I have an early start. No, you guys want to keep going?
Keep on going.
Hey,
Let's keep on going. There's 9
Hey,
people
you.
watching. 9 people, including myself. So let's make
And
it
that's
8 people.
that's my question right there. It's just like, do you get the regular people that watch your streams, or are they?
Every
like-
now and then.
I was gonna say, like, are these all new faces kind of thing when you
Sometimes.
have a new stream? Yeah, okay.
Sometimes. Who knows? But anyways, yeah. So there's the illegitimate talk. So we've now established that what do you call it? What's his name from Adelaide?
Jack.
No.
Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan is
Ryan.
the first Australian Penta S guy. So
Well,
congratulations.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he's legit.
To be honest, it doesn't matter who's first, who's second, who's.
Yeah, it does matter who's the first, second. That's why we have rankings.
Well, would you like a participation prize?
Fuck no.
No, but okay. Like at the end of the day, if anyone gets it, it's still a achievement. No matter what, who gets first, second, or third, it doesn't matter. You still spend money, and you enjoy the game. That's why you spend that much money getting something, right? If you don't enjoy it, why the hell would you spend that kind of money trying to get it? So
Maybe you
at the end
don't.
of
Maybe
the
you don't
day,
have life. Maybe you don't have a life. Maybe you just want to flex and be good at something because your depression is so deep and seated inside your soul that you need some sort of validation in some sort of community that, regardless of whether it's positive or negative feedback that you're getting some sort of acknowledgement. That's why you dump shitloads of money into a game, because your depression, your anxiety, it causes all your stresses and anxieties and just
yes.
That does actually
yes,
raise
that's-
a good point, Mikey.
That it is.
You know,
The big
on,
ones
on,
is
the,
going through his
you
midlife
know
crisis.
on the TA boards, they got like dates when you ran a time, right?
Yeah.
But then for rank ups, there is no way showing what date somebody ranked up, apart from the app. But yeah, there's nowhere that shows what date you ranked up. Like clearly, like you can't look that stuff up from people's cars. So
Because
yeah,
no one fucking cares.
it doesn't matter.
Does it? Doesn't it?
It's it's like I don't know what the fuck I can refer to, but either way, like if you get a grat, it doesn't matter who you are first or second or third. It's not a fucking race to get first, that or this. It's like getting let's say some sort of record. Let's say a Hakone inbound 23, first 23 in the world. That's maybe an achievement, okay? But then, whoever gets 23, it doesn't matter if it's first or second. You got it, Everyone's gonna congratulate you for getting it.
Any update on Brisbane tournament, the next one, if there is any update?
No, actually I haven't, because I play fucking people dumb as fuck and they don't reply my email at the moment, so I might talk to Funhouse and actually see if they're willing to do it in the
My
Mine
center or okay.
Mine Center, yeah. But then I know for a fact that Tony from Funhouse is definitely will offer better prizes and everything better compared to John. That's a fact, because John is a stingy guy, unfortunately. Well, he's not stingy. He's just really lack of organization. Like, really, he's just so bad at organizing shit. He hires the wrong people.
Most of the staff are new, aren't they?
Which staff?
Like the regional manager and all that shit.
Regional manager, yeah, they hired
Used to be
a new person that is pretty much very new to the industry that doesn't know much. You have marketing manager that doesn't reply email for 3 months. unless we email John and tell him that marketing manager isn't responding, then he will reply straight away. So yeah, but hopefully we can organize it for January in 2020.
Wow, so we're only going to get one tournament this year.
Well,
Or do we have one at the start of the year?
do we need to have 2 this year?
Didn't we have one at the start of the year? Or
Yeah, no, mid. We had in June.
I'm trying to
the
figure out if we
tournament.
actually had 3.
Okay, so first year when we hosted, we had 4 in that 1 year, which was way too much. And then the second year we had 3, and then last year we had 2, and then this
So
year
you
we
reckon
had
we
1
just
so
have,
far.
so you reckon we just have 1 a year?
No. Well, I want to have 2 per year. So 1 for free fall and 1 for tag tournament, to accommodate all sorts of different players. But it's really to do with whether arcades are willing to give prizes, because I want the free for all tournament to be the biggest one of the year, where there are cash prizes to be won for to attract interstate and international players, because I know that VGod from New Zealand is willing to come. I know Eagle will come if his schedule is opened up. I know Mikey might come if he's not occupied with other shit.
When is it?
I don't know yet, but probably most likely January 2020.
January 2020.
What days?
I said I don't know yet.
All right, send me a calendar invite. I'll see if I can get my work to pay for it.
Yeah, easy. You're coming up to Brisbane to potential new customers, mate.
Oh no, we've got a office in Brisbane.
Ah, easy.
We just move up here. Hey.
Ah, that's even easier.
I don't see a problem
Brisbane's
with that.
better in every single way. Okay, we have perfect hot, steamy weather. That is at the moment is 35 degree, perfect, nice and warm.
Yeah,
Nice and sunny.
no LC up here. No LC, that's another benefit.
LC is fine. What's wrong with LC? LCs are nice people, right?
Are they? Oh, okay, I keep on forgetting that they're nice.
They are nice people. It's just that you approach them differently. You have to go and speak their language. You have to go lehoma.
Lehoma.
You gotta speak in Kanto. Lehoma. You have to speak in Kanto, bro. You gotta approach them as a Kanto.
And your empty
screen has
your empty screen has to flash white, otherwise you're not doing it right.
Oh, that's easy. Come on. You learn from Stitch, easy.
Oof.
Stitch doesn't play anymore, does he?
Nah, he's gone. He's completely not playing.
Did you ask to buy his data off him then, or?
No, I'm not gonna buy his data. If he doesn't mind, me playing his data, I will keep on playing. Live up to his legacy. Breaking steering wheels.
Yeah, you actually get the email, and two weeks later you get a rename ticket for it. 155.
No, actually, I wouldn't. I would live up to Stitch name, man. Like Stitch is actually a nice guy. He's just just don't get on wrong with his wrong side. That's the bad side. That's
I think that's a given with any person. Can't just say
really. If I get on your bad side, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't follow me.
Likewise.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen my bad side yet. I will give you the Brisbane treatment all the way.
I mean, hey Jimmy, how's your girlfriend Annie, bro?
You mean your ex-girlfriend?
Ooh.
She actually messaged me today. She messaged me and said to me, she really misses you. She really does want to get back to you in about 10 years. When you have grown up a little bit more.
No, fuck off. She said she doesn't date kids. She dates old men like you. Come on, man.
That's why she said she will date you in 10 years time, bro. 10 years, man. 10 years, you're 32 years old.
Shut the fuck up. Honestly, you got the same age.
For now.
I'm trying to set you up.
For now, I will look after her, but in 10 years time, it's yours.
No, fucking 10 years, I'm like, fucking see you later.
Ah, EJ, what are you doing next week, dude?
Licking all of you.
Next week.
Yeah.
Next week, work.
Yeah, I'm in Sydney next week.
Oh, okay. What days?
Monday, Tuesday. Oh, just Monday because I leave
Monday.
Tuesday.
Monday,
That's
Tuesday.
like the
Okay.
shortest
Whereabouts?
bloody trip.
Near Wynnum Station.
Whereabouts are you gonna be staying?
Near Wynnum Station.
What was it?
Wynnum?
How do I spell it?
W.
Wynyard or Wynyum?
Wynyum. I don't know. It's fucking Sydney. I don't care.
It's in Sydney, like
Yeah.
CBD.
Yeah. So I'm working in Australia Square. Do you know where Australia Square is?
Give me 1 sec. It's like, thing. It's the thing. It's like,
It's the thing. It's the thing.
It's a thing.
It's the thing.
It's
It's the thing.
I'm trying to like find something that's like relevant. It's near
Yeah,
one
just
place
say
that's called
Australia Square, near Wynyum Station.
Station. Yeah. That's near Modern Place. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'll be staying there.
Okay.
Yeah,
On
give me a
Monday,
buzz.
Fucking, I finish at fucking 5 on a Monday.
So do I.
Just take a six, bro.
So do I. I'm working,
Yeah.
so I won't be able to finish until 5 anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. No. I'm down for dinner. I don't mind.
Yeah, cool. We'll grab dinner and then
Go
just
for
catch
dinner,
up.
play
And then no,
Dota,
and then we could do a
some
stream.
games.
We could do a stream.
Stream of watching two old guys playing.
No. I was gonna do a podcast.
Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Because I work in.
Yeah. Well, that's
university.
So I'll just because if we can do a stream, I'll just get one of the one of the meeting rooms, and we've got pretty decent internet, and we'll just stream from like work, and we've got like free like drinks and whatever there.
Hell yeah. Sounds good to me. So that, give me 1 second, that is the 25th, right?
Yeah.
25th? Okay. Yeah, I'm free on the 25th.
Done.
I'll put it down. Yeah. Oh, it feels bad you're leaving on Tuesday though.
Yeah, it's work, man.
You can
Just
work.
what I'm doing. But anyways, so let's talk about something else.
Yeah, cool.
What are we talking about?
Why do you play this game?
So hang on. I'm gonna be the elephant in the room, and I am gonna force the issue here. What is DSM's problem with Alan Lancaster?
Nothing.
There's no problem.
No, there's no problem. It's just okay. So
It's more the case of he's
okay,
easy to
it's
take
to
the piss
do
out.
with you. Shut the fuck up. No,
Oh,
it's
God.
It's to do with certain people in my team that Alan has trouble with. Okay. Or
like
not
who?
trouble with.
Like who?
Okay, so for example, Andy. Okay.
Is
David.
Andy
Yeah.
part of your team? Like, he's
well, that's the thing. He's not really part of my team anymore. You know, I told him to get the fuck out. But you know, at the end of the day, it's to do with certain players that he displeases, like he doesn't like.
displeases
It's
or
Well, because okay, people like Andy and David, you know, they know how to trigger people. You know, they know how to sort of poke the stick, and some people tend to get triggered, you know, or just feel discomfort about what they do. In this scenario, Alan is the victim here, partially. You know, I think Alan has his own, issue that he needs to really be sort of thinking about. Like it's
what?
not Alan's
like
fault.
like what issue talking about, Jimmy?
You know, it's about the illegitimate, you know, all that shit as well. He's been sensitive in some ways. You know,
Can I
Alan-
pop in? The issue with Alan mainly is he doesn't know how to stop. So the problem is I don't know how it all started with, like, was it when he came up to Brisbane or not? I don't know when it all
he
started.
came to Brisbane, and like I spoke to Alan, you know, when he was up in Brisbane, like, and you know, for me, I can tell Alan is a dick, and
Yeah.
you know, I know for a fact. Well, you know, I know for a fact that Andy and David are just like that, where they will poke fun, and that's how it is. And I said to Alan, like, you know, just ignore them, you know, Just
That's
don't
and
get baited.
that's. I think that's the case of
Yeah.
point. He
Anyway,
needs to
to know.
shut up. He needs to shut up. He needs to just keep
Anyway,
away from.
yeah, if there's a keyboard warrior, you just don't give them any bait. You just, if you don't say anything about it, yeah. But unfortunately, falls in the same trap every single time, and they should happen.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
unfortunately, some people they're not very bright. So basically, every single time, like you see something, they get triggered, and then it becomes a big circle. Like I'll give an analogy. So basically, it's like I have nothing against Alan as well. Like I don't even fucking post. I don't even comment. Like obviously, I'll put a random comment on whatever. I'll be like, oh, go fucking throw a cactus or okay, boom or whatever. But it's like every time I see it, like I don't comment because like
No,
I don't want to get involved.
I think it's another way. For example, like Stitch is a great guy. I love Stitch. But about the incident that happened in Brisbane a couple of years ago, of the whole "get me out of this." I fucking used that meme so much, and Carlos know that, but he would just laugh it off because he take it as a great joke. It's something that happened, and he just moves on. He doesn't go back and say, "Oh, why the fuck are you doing this? Why are you making fun of me?" If you can just laugh it off, that's it. Nothing happens.
okay.
Exactly. End of the day, it's just a massive shit show. We're here for a bit of a laugh. You know what I mean? Like with Alan, it's like you're poking a dead bird. It's like it's fun at first, everyone's laughing, and then later on, it's like oh yeah, whatever, stick with it. But in his case,
like with Alan's case,
always
it's
fresh.
about that 192 thing, which happened. It's truth. It happened. Embrace it. Move on. And that's it. No one's going to keep
not
making fun
exactly. Can't exactly embrace that shit. I mean,
well,
I don't
yes
know what
and
you're
no.
trying. You trying to like give him
No,
that
okay.
benefit of the
What
doubt.
happened?
Like,
No, that's the thing. What happened was stupid. Okay, he admits that. Okay, and that's it. He's not going to do it again. Obviously.
I reckon if we just not talk about it, I think that's just the best way to tackle.
Well, that's the thing. The best way is not talk about it, but then people will sometimes bring up, and then he get baited, and then goes into the same circle again. So that's the issue. If you don't get baited, then that's it. The topic finishes. There's nowhere to go.
He doesn't understand that. It's more another thing. I think it's like he's got the degeneration gab issue where he just posts just a lot of shit.
Oh, that's a bit low. The degeneration gap is pretty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but it's the same. Like the principle still stands though. He posts a lot of shit. Well, Alan used to anyway, and if you just took the piss out of him on those posts, that's what fueled him as well. He wouldn't back down.
He's got his audience, and that's that's fine with I think whatever he does is fine. I think
No, I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. It's just more of the case with most people. Like, there's a reason. Like Igor, for example. Like, do you ever see many top tier players post anything on the MT4?
Okay. Igor is exception. Igor is exception because Igor does not use social media. Full stop. He is very, very dinosaur with social media. He's close to being like dinosaur as me on social media.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean by dinosaur? Like, it's
like okay. Igor checks his Facebook pretty much like once every 2 or 3 days. His Facebook message probably only gets checked like maybe twice a week, if lucky. Like half the time you have to, contact Igor's girlfriend to get the message across the Igor. So,
like, is this recent or because when I was living down in Melbourne,
for like past 2-3 years?
Nah, because when I used to pick him up and whatnot, he always used to respond to me quickly.
Because when he's like, especially probably in the recent years, because he's working a lot. So he can't be on the phone. Yeah. He's not going to be active as most people. But again, like with Igor, like top tier time attack players is very different because the result are there. Everyone can check the result. It's not something that if you get it, of course, if you get video, you post it to share the how it happened. But you don't necessarily have to post your number one time or anything, because everyone can see it. It's not something that no one can see. Everyone can see who got the time by checking on the ranking site. So that's probably why you don't see a lot of top time attackers, not posting their times as such.
I'm just not a fan of people that post this useless shit, and he falls into that bracket of like same with Degeneration Gab where they just put they'll post something.
Yeah, but that's toxic. That's toxic. You can't just be like, and rain shit on people because
I understand that my mentality towards it is pretty elitist, and it's I can only just push what I'm trying to say, and that's about it. And it's I know that
it's like people makes YouTube video for a living, right? Some videos are good, some videos are bad. Some people post every single day, even though their contents are bad. But that's what they do, and they still have their own audience. And as long as they can keep those audience happy, then they have the right to do it. Only time that for example, especially on Facebook, like you see people that is so irrelevant, and what they are posting is so wrong. Like they don't have any facts involved with making claims about something. Then that's when you go, well, no, you can call out and say, well, what you're doing is completely wrong. But I think for people that has their own audience that and can keep them happy, just let them do whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. But I'm still gonna keep I'm still gonna keep my mentality on those types of people. So he's always gonna fall into that bracket when it comes to me. It's just one of those idiots that post just shit. That's just me.
Like it's like when I post video on the DSM YouTube, it's not really about. It's not really for learning. It's not really for anything. It's all about just fun.
Yeah. But the issue is, Jimmy, most of we're actually quite competent at playing MT. While you look at someone like Degeneration Gab or basically anyone else that posts a video, it's just
it is from our point of view. Because if honky, like proper honky, like people that plays in Hong Kong, like Siege and Lusty and all these top attack team, if they see how we play, they go, these guys are not that good, because that's not how they play.
Are they seriously? No. Are they honkies seriously are they that much above us? Are they?
No. It's not that. It's not that. It's not about above us or anything. It's about the play style is so different. So the information they receive from watching us play is completely irrelevant for them. So for example, when I see a heavy tag battle where first and second is running and third is blocking fourth all the way, that for me I go, well, what's the fucking point? That's how I see it. But from honky point of view, they go as superior. The third person is blocking fourth all the way. They see it as a different. They see it from a different point of view. So, what we think is right is sometimes might not be right for them from their point of view. So it's just all POV. Like, okay, with especially in game like battle, play style is different from player to player. Like time attack is just it's right or wrong. There are different ways of attacking certain things, but at the end of the day, the basic are the same. So when people research how to do time attack as well, they look at 5 different videos with similar time, but each player could be doing different thing on some corners. And some people might suit one player, play style. Some other players might not. It's just how it is. You just have to experiment, play. Same thing, same shit.
Okay.
Like we are sort of drifting off to different topic, but
it's still relevant to them too.
No, it's just it's all about personal choice and different point of view.
What is legitimate? Yeah.
Oh Jesus, let's not go back there.
Well, that's the title of the stream. So.
Legitimate is when you ask your mom and dad to buy you the brand new McLaren, and then you show off to everyone at uni saying, "Look at me, I bought them myself."
You remind me a lot of one guy that actually lives up here. That is funny enough Chinese, and he has a white McLaren.
No. Let me tell you.
I've seen him at the airport. I've seen him at the airport with it.
Yeah. don't know what is it with Freshies. Like back then, like Porsche and Audi or whatever, but now they're like so into like McLaren and like supercars.
McLaren's trying to push their cars in China at the moment with the this 570 LT or some shit.
Yeah. You can literally get one for trade price for like 250k. Like legit. I do
you
a
know
transfer.
why? Because it's shit.
No, McLaren's quality.
Yes.
Quality.
Yes.
No, actually, it's actually
Okay,
pretty
it's
bad.
overrated.
McLaren, hey, they just got a podium in F1 the other day.
That's
Wow.
Reliability is shit.
Just
okay?
and no one
Okay,
was
there are
paying
some people that are
attention.
more reliable. Honestly, there are some people that are more reliable than a fucking McLaren. Like, I got a mate, he has a 720S, got it for a lease for 3 years. Within 4 months, broke the lease and sold it because there's too many problems. It's too expensive to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want a cheap, reliable supercar, you buy an Audi R8 because it's cheap and it's probably the most reliable supercar you can buy.
No, it's actually not. AMG GT is better. Especially
A Mercedes. A Mercedes.
No. AMG GT.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear one day you drive out from garage and you're gonna hear kabang.
No, that's a Maserati. What are you talking about?
No, Maserati doesn't even start. It would just one start from the start. Just you plug it in ignition, just go shit.
AMG GT is a really good platform, especially
It's a
2016.
good car if you have money to throw at it, but I would not buy second hand. If there was a second hand one, I would not even touch it.
All right,
The
hang on.
GT is pretty good.
Speaking of cars in real life, Mikey, why did you get rid of your BRZ and get a STI? Which STI did you get? You got the hatchback one.
Yeah, I got the GRB.
GRB. Is GRB actually a lot quicker than the BRZ? Or
Oh god, yes.
What?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh god, yes.
You have no idea how slow BRZ is.
Yeah.
BRZ and 86 are literally the same. They're pretty fucking slow.
They
so I don't know. Like I don't know if the Subis had like big turbos. Or
No,
anything.
no. The BRZ and the 86 are exactly the same. They.
No, I'm talking about your STI.
Oh, so mine has the VF something. I don't know what turbo it has, but it pumps out 400 Newton meters of torque. So that's all I care about.
Yeah.
400.
Okay, think about it. Actually, like a BRZ, I think 0 to 100 is about 8.8 seconds.
Nah,
Yeah.
Was it about 8.8
I
seconds?
don't
I think it
know.
was.
I don't know.
It's slow as your.
I don't think it's
Current.
nah. It's not 8 point. It's definitely not 8 seconds. Like I could get it pretty quickly.
What, downhill?
No, probably maybe 6 seconds.
No,
Yeah.
fuck no. A BRZ cannot do 6 seconds.
All right, hang on. Let's hang on.
Wait.
Zero
BRZ in 6 seconds. Bro,
0 to
my
100.
old WRX did
0 to 100 BRZ. 6.8 seconds. Oh no, wait.
No, what? No, are you sure? BRZ
Sorry,
not
7.4. Sorry.
7.4 for automatic,
That's what-
right?
that's- yeah.
I thought the
Yeah, that's
automatic
not
would be like faster now.
That's not fast car.
That's not a
And
fast
sometimes
car.
automatic's actually faster. I don't know. Nowadays, like the 0 to 100 for a lot of like the higher end cars is like almost new.
Well, most high-end cars probably about 3 or 4 seconds usually, isn't it? 3.8
Yeah.
to like 4.5.
Five? Yeah. Like my generation of C63 is 4.3, and then
Yeah.
like that's faster than a Gelato and a F360. But then like now is like 3.8, 3.7. That's like supercar. I'm just like everything's the same now.
Yeah, but a lot
you
of
have
time
something
they
that's
don't
like-
even. It's not really about 0 to 60 time anymore. It's more like 0 to like 100 miles. So it's like 150, 100, 200, even 200 in some scenario.
Yeah.
Because
more-
you know,
I think now-
zero to 100 is pretty much. It's gonna be similar. Like it's not gonna make a huge difference. Like when you get to like 200, that's when the car sort of tends to start to struggle.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the STI is infinitely better than the BRZ.
Yeah, right.
That-
And we
Yeah,
actually.
It's got more
I thought you were
space.
considering on getting an Evo 8 at some stage, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought
But
about it. No.
The
Okay.
insurance was too high, wasn't it?
No, so I thought about it, and the reason why I said no to the Evo 8 was because long term, it wouldn't suit my needs.
Well,
Yeah, that's the point.
Like,
That's the point.
have you
Depends
sat
on what you
have you sat in an Evo 8?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and imagine having back problems.
Ah, man.
Oh, wait, come on! You're not gonna have till like you are 80.
No, but no.
So
So-
if you're talking about a space issue, I mean, yeah, I get it. When like Evo 8's like the interiors are actually quite small.
and it's very backward stated. Like if you look at it, you're like, oh, this is
So
yeah. Like it's like you feel like it's really cheap.
Oh,
Yeah.
they've got the exact same trim as the old. What's it
Evo
called?
7, Evo 8, Evo 9, it's all the
Yeah,
same.
they're all the same.
Like,
Yeah, all
And
the
it just
same.
and it just
It's
it,
all
it,
simple interior.
it is, but I just feel like it's just crap,
yeah.
That's true.
Especially
right?
like, especially like when you think long term, you want something that's practical for like family as well, and something that's cheap to maintain.
Yeah.
Not a C63.
Oh, by the way, the GRB's yeah. So the GRB hatchback, amazing. Room, amazing. Like, the interior is pretty
Dude, but
decent. You've
come on.
got
Exterior, come on. The face, come on. The face is ugly as fuck.
you change the front bar. That's it.
No, you want to write off the whole front.
Why? You just put the GRB front. It's the exact same dimensions.
Oh, GRB is so ugly. Oh my god.
Is it? Is it? Is it only because Alan drives it?
To the GVB.
Oh, god, GRB is ugly.
The GRB STI does look pretty ugly.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So,
yeah. So that yeah. So
Jimmy,
yeah. So that's why I got the
Jimmy,
the
what do you-
GRB.
so Jimmy, when are you getting your AMG, bro? You wanna buy mine?
I'd rather fucking buy like a 60 years old fucking Lancia than buy your C63.
What do you mean? I love Lanciers.
Because
Immaculate
no,
Are you
I'd
sure
rather
about
buy.
that?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you buy a 60 years old Lancia, you know it's gonna be fucking rusty as hell, so you don't have any expectation. So you don't care.
I mean,
Bro, my part is immaculate condition. Okay, all highway miles, always taken care of. Okay, everything replaced. Okay.
That's
Very responsible,
a
mature
typical walks car sales comment, always garage, never been trashed, never hit red line, yeah, always service on time, never took to track, never do burnout. Yeah, that
never
basically
do
means
burnout.
that it's been done everything wrong.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't do burnouts. Fuck you. I don't do burnouts. On the
If
track,
you
yes,
take
but-
the track, you will do burnout.
maybe when the road's wet, he might be able to.
Hey, my car's rear wheel drive with like 550 torque. It's like it's pretty. Yeah. Sometimes you do an accidental burnout. It's like fuck. Anyways,
I got nothing.
I'm just gonna say that it's illegitimate.
Oh.
okay.
Just that's all I'm gonna say about this issue. It's illegitimate. Aaron, what car do you have now?
He changed main a lot. Like,
Oh.
I'm
Wait,
not
what do you
joking.
mean?
If you were
Oh,
think
my
he would
mate.
like-
I've gone back to the A86.
No, as in like the real car.
Even
real
in real
car,
car, he
I've got
has
a-
changed a lot.
I've
Bro,
got an EK Civic.
Ew.
Wait, you changed it again? When did you get that?
EK Civic.
I've got an EK. EK Civic.
EK's pretty nice.
That's not Shingo's. It's the other one, the yellow one, right?
EG's the
No,
Shingo one.
Yeah. So EK is the yellow one.
EG
Yeah.
is the Shingo one.
EK was the yellow
The
ones.
yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you got the inferior one. Okay.
What do you mean inferior one?
You got the inferior one.
How so?
Just inferior.
Yeah.
No, it's actually pretty nice though. Like for the price that you
For
got,
for
it's
Aaron,
actually
it's
really
okay.
nice. No. For the price.
For
you
Aaron,
actually
it's
pay
okay.
for, it's actually
All right.
really
Did you get a Type R?
Huh?
Did you get the
No.
Type R?
You can't get EK9 Type Rs in Australia.
Whoa!
No, you can't. Just go to eBay.
Why did you
You
get
can't
an
get-
E-
no, they're
Why
not-
did
they're
you
not-
get an EK9 not Type R? Are you? There's something wrong with you, man.
You can't get them in Australia.
You can't get them in Australia. You can't. You just can't. You can't get them in Australia.
You can't.
You can't. Yeah, you
can't.
can't.
It's the
Yeah.
same. It's just,
You
they go
can't
by.
just-
They go down the same laws as why you can't get those wagon Evos.
You're
Wangan
Wangan Evos.
Wangan Evas.
You can't get the Wangan Evos. It's illegitimate.
Damn it. I need to cut out my fucking voice box if I sound like that. I swear.
Fucking
to God.
illegitimate. You can't get it. Oh my god.
Ah, Jesus. You gotta say Damo a couple of times. in that
Damo,
sentence.
Damo. Oh my god, Damo. Pass me a durry. Illegitimate.
Like Mikey could. Say I do fully 6 skids in my Como after standing.
Bro, I do fully 6 skids in my Commodore at the front of Centrelink, bro. What the fuck's your problem? Give me back. Oh no, I'm not saying that line. Oi, that was close. That was very close. Yeah, real life Mike only came out, almost came out then. Fuck.
I hope you're not recording.
It's still on stream.
It's streaming.
Oh, I thought you fucking stopped it ages ago. I was
Nah.
about to go.
No, it's still
I read it.
going. It's still
Oh my
going.
God.
Everything's recorded. It's gonna be on YouTube, man.
And
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be in
no
archive.
one's ever gonna watch it. It's on Mikey's channel.
Hi, Alan Lancaster 192.
oof.
Oh, that's why you are a toxic asshole. Fucking.
That's why he's in DSM.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Guys,
true.
everyone makes
I love
mistakes.
the best human
Everyone makes mistakes, and I don't think someone should be held accountable for a mistake that they made so long ago.
I
Get
mean,
me out of this.
I mean, get me out of this, but
Yeah,
we can
fucked up in the past.
we can take the piss out of it as much as we want. To be honest, happens.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
At this point, it should be just like
Yeah,
an
we all
Easter
make
egg
mistakes.
for him. You know, it's like nothing to be make fun of. It's just a nice funny callback. You know, it's just casual banter. We do not harm.
Yeah.
Kevin, where are you?
It's on the toilet.
me.
oh, God.
Are you taking a shit?
No, I'm in an MRT.
He is cutting
He's
in
on
and
the
out.
fucking subway, talking on
No.
Discord.
He's on the tube, is he?
Yeah, he's on the tube.
It's on the tube, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes, that's correct.
So, are you gonna come back to Australia anytime soon, Kevin, or you have no plans to in the future?
I might have to do a shopping trip in Australia.
Yay!
Shopping trip. Shopping
Oh,
trip.
Yeah, they don't sell like my t-shirt size at all.
Oh.
So I'm like all my work clothes are like on life support. I use the same 4 clothes every day.
Oh
Bloody
no.
hell.
You know, there's a thing called eBay, right?
Now, did you know there's also a thing called customs and tax?
Hey.
Do they charge that much like tax for importing?
Yeah, for very bullshit reasons too.
Oh my god.
Because greedy government. The only government that I can think of that's greedier than the Australian one.
Protectionist government.
Our government is pretty fucking bad.
I love our government. They are not listening on this.
Hey, Ham. Sorry. Can't give our government shit for how we live right now. We're living quite good. I like to think anyway.
Boy,
Not
shut the
really.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Look at the house prices in Sydney, okay? You buy
Yeah,
a toilet in Western Sydney for like fucking 400 grand.
Yeah, Sid. We're not. It's yeah. Stay away from me.
No, but like when you think about it, right? Okay, so nowadays a packet of cigarettes from Coles is close to $40.
They're trying to crack. They're looking after your well-being, Jimmy.
15 years ago, it was like what, $15?
Do you realize I actually get over 30 subs a day and a fuckload of views? How is my content shit? You just dislike it. Oh well. DXMT.
Ah, you serious?
What? Where?
Where? What happened?
YouTube.
Huh?
How's
How
this
old is the
content?
comment?
Do you realize I actually get over 30 subs a day and a fuckload of views? How is my content shit? You just dislike it. Oh well.
And that's the issue right there when he says something like that.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's
just-
the thing. Like, I don't
it's
think
like, if he
anyone
wants
is
us-
dissing
if
his
he-
channel. Like,
if
we
he-
didn't
if he
say
want
it.
us to
his own audience, and I think he's fine with what he's doing.
If he wants,
But then-
it's also the case in point of if he wants us to stop talking about him, why is he going around saying that? It's just like
Well,
he's
that's
just
the
trying
thing,
to.
like he's trying to boast what he's getting like 30 plus sub a day. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is, boasting, and
we're not living off fucking YouTube here. We're not making career from making YouTube video. We're not PewDiePie or some fucking like YouTubers out there. We make it for the content, really, just for fun, really. Who cares? And I don't think anyone's dissing about his channel anyway.
I mean, no, I gave him flack before comparing him to Degeneration Gab.
Oh, but that's I guess you're referring to how people post so much shit, but but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, what Alan does is perfectly fine, and he's got his own audience.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, I've totally stopped giving, like, I wouldn't say caring, but putting effort towards my YouTube channel. Like, I don't doubt that if I focused a bit of time, it would take off. I don't even look at stats anymore.
Yeah.
But
No, well, that's the thing. You've got a 6K sub at the moment. You haven't really been posting video for a while. Like, not like like consistently.
not even. Like, I got no more content to push out.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm still fucking waiting on that charger review, but yeah, that's never going to come.
Send me a charger. I don't have a charger.
no, but at the end of the day, right,
actually, fuck.
it's-
I'm gonna have to
I
tune it up for you.
I see YouTube as an archive
You have
for future for me.
Yeah,
Just
same.
to look back and say, oh, I used to play this game and I used to play like this. Like when I look at the old video from like MT3, I go, Jesus, I
Yeah.
look back now and go, wow, how I play was actually very, very trash. Like, but
yeah.
it's there for you. You
But
can at least
I
look back
feel-
and go, there's video.
I feel that we need to pass the torch. Like, I
Well,
feel...
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing is that there is, you have to have new generation of players that willing to do these things, like because you consider to be sort of an OG as well. We've been around for a long time, so what we do is, is fine, but I think we will get to a point where we get bored of what we do.
Well, for me, it's that I'd probably rather spend my money on, like, Pokemon, for argument's sake, and then play that infinitely hours. But I also have a full-time job, and, like, I'll drop maybe $30 a week on MT and be like, was it worth it? Probably not. However, if you guys are out in, like, Melbourne and, like, hey, we're down, then it's more of a going out social thing than a, hey guys, heard 150 stars and I'm so good, lol, I versed Jimmy and beat him, lol, lol, lol.
Yeah. Case in point, Alan Lancaster.
No, but that's the thing. Like, that's the point that EJ was making, and also Andy was making. Like, with Brisbane, like what we do is we're not just about playing the game. We actually go out to have meal. We sometimes meet out on a day, like not even for MT. We might go out to someone's house for barbecue or do something else.
Yeah.
So we focus. MT is just a common hobby, and then we do things around it. So it's not just about, oh, let's go out and play MT and that's it. You know, we don't do anything else apart from playing MT. We don't do that. We do something else apart from MT.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's something that I guess Melbourne probably don't have much.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So that's probably why you get burnt out, you know, from playing MT, because if you go out to play MT, you just play MT. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. It's hard. Like, it's hard to make a community work well. Like, for Brisbane, it took nearly 10 years to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, to make it properly workable. And that's partly because I was around. Daryl has been around. A few other OG has been around that comes out, you know, to play games and then go out for meals and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that sort of tradition carried on, and it sort of worked out. But, you know, each area probably needs to have that person to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem with the Melbourne MT community is that it's not toxic, not cohesive, but like there are some groups of people that like to pub stomp.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, of course you don't want to fucking name names there.
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying that there is a certain group of people that like to pub stomp.
Yeah, but you know, they're young.
Well, I mean, not really young.
Not so young, but they're young. Still young.
Still young.
Anyone under 30 is still young.
Is it?
Okay,
Wow.
Yeah, anyone under 30 still has, you know, a lot of life to live. Anyone over 30, well, shit, man. You need to get back to real life shit.
Yeah, just tell her to go for Annie, bro.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's all right. I will look after her for
Wait.
10 more years. And she, you know,
Jimmy,
you can
would
have
your
that.
parents approve of that girl or not?
I don't even
Yeah,
know
she
her, you
definitely would.
fucking retard. I haven't even met her.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, okay,
It's-
okay, real quick.
Okay,
Actually,
this is the girl. This is the girl that EJ fucking met up in Brisbane. When he came up to Brisbane, he said he was
that
coming
one
out, but
time.
he didn't come out.
Oh, was that
he
the
didn't turn
girl?
out. That one, yeah.
Oh.
You know, he fucking chose horror fucking over bro. So there you go.
Wait, are we talking about? Are we
yeah.
talking about that girl that came down to the Brisbane tournament last time, and then someone like abandoned and?
Which one's that one?
No. She doesn't play MT. She like. I
Oh,
know
you
her
mean
from-
Liana?
Yeah, I thought who came down with her and then they bailed.
Cool.
Liana and what?
Togs. I'm not gonna comment on this. I'm gonna let
Ah,
you
yes.
take the
Ah,
wheels.
yes.
No. Aaron, you know
What?
who it is. Who?
I'm not talking.
Was
No,
it you?
actually-
Was it
No,
you?
haven't you played game with Liana, Maggie?
No,
Well, I thought we played PUBG together once or twice.
no. And if we did, I would have
that was
trolled.
probably Lockie.
Yeah, if we did, I would have trolled the shit out of her.
Ah, probably. Yeah, you would have.
Yeah, I would have.
But you know,
Gotcha.
she's not a bad girl. She's just yeah, Adelaide. Yeah.
I heard her and Jack White had a thing.
Well, you better fucking be careful what you say.
Adelaide.
Did her and Jack
Yeah.
White have a thing? Did they?
Oh, I'm not gonna comment. I'm
They
not
did, didn't
commenting
they?
anything.
They did, didn't they?
I'm not gonna comment on anything because if she does hear this, she's gonna message me straight away, being like,
She
"What
did,
happened?"
didn't she? Oh my god!
Nah.
Get
I'm
me
not
out of
saying
this!
anything. No, I'm not saying anything.
There you are. You're not saying
No.
anything by saying something.
Again, Jack is a very nice guy. He's just he's slightly disadvantaged, so people is very hard to understand him.
Yeah, it's very disadvantaged
Did
like
he?
me.
Did he? Like, what did he?
No.
Did he? Yeah, was he like? Eh.
That's a question for you to ask her.
I don't talk to her, and I don't want to talk to her.
She lives down the road from us, so
From you guys? What?
she lives in Brisbane now, man.
Yeah. She moved to
Alright,
Brisbane.
get in, Aaron. Get in.
Oh dear.
Get in, Aaron.
I deal.
I do. Get in, Aaron. She's yours for the taking. If Jack couldn't crack her, you can.
Oh, I deal.
I do. So, anyways, yeah. Yeah, so the whole Alan thing, you guys have no problems with him. It's just he just gets autistic.
There's no issue with Alan. It's just he's easy to take the piss of.
Dude, I play the game and not care.
Yeah, like for me, I don't. Okay, if Alan say anything about me, I don't give a shit because it has. It doesn't. I'm not associated. Really, like it doesn't bother me, you know. And I have nothing against Alan. He just had issue against 3 people in DSM, and then he just put the whole DSM as a one category, and you know, trying to defame as such in his own community, which again I don't give a shit. It doesn't even bother me.
Doesn't bother anyone.
No. Because you know, people that knows about me and my team, they know who we are, and they're not gonna listen to some, you know, people whining and, you know, talking shit about my team, really. So it really doesn't matter. Like, you know, I don't want to be in some sort of feud with Alan at all, like, because it's unnecessary, because we have common interests, which is playing this game, and I respect what he does, but at the same time he needs to respect what I do.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
cool. All right, well, fair enough. Fair enough. And how do we all feel about Jack White then? Because I thought he came back into the group. And
there's no problem with him.
No.
So, were you up here, Mikey, for the last tournament? Or
yeah,
not?
I don't know.
Yeah, we had not tag, but the last 3-4 when Jack and you guys came. Yeah, basically everyone came.
Yeah,
except for Igor.
yeah.
And EJ.
EJ doesn't count.
Hey.
But you know, Jack. I don't think Jack is a bad person. He just, you know, he is autistic, and he sometimes does have some sort of social awkwardness where he just doesn't understand what's right and what's wrong, and so he sometimes makes that bad decision call and then end up ruining the relationship that he built up with people.
I guess it goes hand in hand though, because you know, people that friend Jack White need to understand that sometimes he will do those things where it's just a bit of a red flag.
Yeah, well,
people should
you
understand that and be the bigger person and just put up with it.
Well,
if they want to invest their friendship with him.
Okay, that's the thing. From how I see it is, I know Jack isn't a bad person from the start. It's just a matter of, you know, what he did in the past made people dislike him a lot. So, you know, what happened in the past you can't change. That's just how it is.
Can we?
But you can change the future.
For those playing at home, what did he do in the past?
Oh, he just When he started MT, he wasn't a good player. He was like very mediocre player, but he used to talk a lot of shit online, and he used to actually, you know, I don't know, he just used to make a lot of fucking stupid ass comments, and then people just start disliking him, and then he actually got better at the end. So now he has the skill to back him up for what he's saying, but then people already disliked him from the past, so basically just everyone's already has that narrow mindset of this guy's a shit cunt. But you know, for me, I don't really care what happened in the past. It's just as long as, you know, he isn't a bad person to be with, then I'm like, well, he can be still friends, and that's why I was trying to be friendly with him the whole time. And you know, when he came up to, you know, tournament, he was great. You know, he the same thing was Kinney. You know, Kim Lu.
I mean,
you see, for me, right? I know, like
Yeah, but
okay,
Jimmy, you're everyone's friend. Like, I don't think there's anyone out there that will hate you
Oh, I don't know. There might be one or two out there.
compared
just
to.
all I'm gonna say is don't play on the right hand side of Jimmy.
Yeah, he might go neutral sometime.
Yeah, your gear shifter might go slip a couple of gears back down to second.
Might end up on Stitch.
Stitch.
Get me out of this. No, but you know, same as King Lu. Like you know, King Lu when he came up, I had nothing against him, and he probably again he's a keyboard warrior. On computer he talks a lot of shit, but in real life he's very quiet. You know, he isn't a bad person. He just has that sort of weird mentality. Again, Yeah, I think just take it as, you know, just accept as the way he is. Just, you know, forget about the past.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like, you know, for me, it's hard to understand, like, why Jack and Kinlu doesn't go well together.
Well, maybe
They're playing the same arcade.
maybe they had a fight over a girl by the name Ileana.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, No, maybe. I'm half expecting her to jump online
I don't know.
and be like,
You do realize that like she doesn't talk to anyone anymore that plays MT.
good.
She
Yeah.
talks to me. She calls me daddy sometimes.
How fucking often does she message you on Facebook?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
once a year.
What? Hey Jimmy, I want your baby.
I'm like, oh man, no.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Holy feck.
Holy fuck.
Holy feck. Alright, so we've talked about the legitimacy, we've talked about the random issues, so let's put this to bed. And
How many people are watching?
11.
Why do you play this game?
No. We can't stop it now. 11 people have committed their lives for the good 4 hours that we've been
I've got
here.
a set, like, no shit, I've got a 7 a.m. morning sustainability for officers breakfast that I got roped into today. They're like, hey, you're part of the sustainability committee, and I'm like, oh fuck, great. And they're like, yeah, you got a morning breakfast. I'm like, yay, free breakfast. So
Yeah.
7
We
a.m.
should have something like that for MT, a sustainability breakfast.
Ugh, what?
Sustaining the community.
Sustaining the community. How to do that? Well, 1, don't pub stomp it, and 2, don't be trolls.
Oh, jeez.
So instantly,
you
everyone
can't be trolls.
instantly everyone from DSM, including myself, is out.
No, I think you know you can be trolls. It doesn't matter. Like you know, as long as everyone know you're trolling. then
Okay.
it's all right.
Okay. Thursday's video will be about sustainability. How about that? Tomorrow's video will be about sustainability.
Do we have to do this week? Let's do it next week.
All right. What about on the Monday when I meet up with EJ?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
All right, done. Okay, so Monday, locking it in. Sustainability talk. How to sustain. Hey,
What time are we meeting up in?
whenever. Like, my office is open all like 24/7.
Okay, cool.
Is it a WeWork?
Facebook when I finish.
Nah, it's better than a WeWork.
That sounds
Well,
better.
Yeah. It overlooks the harbor, so it's pretty cool.
Sweet romance.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, wrapping this up. We talked about a lot of stuff, so hopefully all the 11 people got what they needed. Apologies to anyone that is offended, because, like, I'm sure that 1 or 2 people will be offended by something we've said. But at the end of the day, this is all our opinions. This is not necessarily the view of everyone on a team or, you know, at a collective basis. We all have individual opinions, and at the end of the day, that's how we feel. If you feel like you don't agree with our opinion, we don't give a shit. I certainly don't give a shit. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but look, at the end of the day, legitimate is legitimate, and Ryan is the first person in Australia to have a Penta S ranked car. So congratulations, Ryan. Well done. And to everyone else that has Penta, congratulations, but Ryan did it first. So
Yeah, mine's coming soon. Actually, I don't know. Mine probably doesn't come for like another 2 years.
So on that bombshell,
Opinions expressed.
on that bombshell, we'll see you next time.
See?
Thank you.